नीचे हो, आपके बैंक अकाउंट में 8,500 रुपया महीने का खटाखट 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 आता रहेगा।
महलों में पैदा होने वाले कहते हैं देश का विकास अपने आप होगा, और कहते क्या है, विकास कैसे होगा? बोले खटाखट खटाखट।
कांग्रेस में तो पताका हाथ लगाकर दिखा दे, ईंट से ईंट ना बजा दी तो हम भी अमेठी वाले हैं।
यहाँ एक भाजपा की प्रत्याशी आई जो आज आपकी सांसद है, और उन्होंने काफी झूठ फैलाए।
विश्वासघात उद्धव ठाकरे जी, मोदी जी के साथ, देवेंद्र फडणवीस के साथ।
Modi has been saved by Bala Saheb Thackeray. So because of him, he is there today.
আমরা সরকার তৈরি করব, আমরা জোটে থাকবো, জোটে আছি আমরা।
अभी ये लोग तो ये सब बोलेंगे देख के लोग थोड़ा सा लग रहा है मोदी जी को देख।
To the voters of Phase 5, you've got less than 11 hours. Go vote is the campaign here at CNN News 18 as the battle for Bharat takes the bend into the business end. The final aspect, ladies and gentlemen, out of the 7 phases, it's the 5th phase today. The 49 seats, crucial ones, big ticket names, not the size and the volume and the numbers of Phase 1, 2 and 3, but very, very important and critical as we get to the business end, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be critical. Let's try and understand why these 49 seats matter. In that race to get beyond the post of 272, that's the majority number. The targets set by the BJP are lofty, the ideals are 400 par, and that is because of the dream, the vision that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the captain of that BJP juggernaut, has set. But the opposition will want to pull the NDA back as close to that 272 number as possible if they want to remain in the fray. The remaining 3 phases, 5, 6 and 7, will set the tone. The ballot has been cast in the 4 phases. We don't have too many seats to play with in the remaining 3 phases, but these 3 phases are very critical because they include critical states, 7 states and 1 union territory, 49 seats in Phase 5 of the 7 phase polls, and we are looking at some very big faces this time around. 695 candidates are in the fray across 7 states and 1 union territory, so 8 in number. The BJP is actually defending in 32 out of these 49 seats. They will want to inch up closer to 49 to add to their gains, but is it going to be easy? These are supposed to be their stronger phases. 10 union ministers across the length and breadth of the country, from Maharashtra to Uttar Pradesh and beyond, are going to test their mettle. Odisha is going to cast its ballot for the assembly elections. 22 seats in the Hindi heartland will also be casting their ballot. And ladies and gentlemen, as we signpost this, 14 Uttar Pradesh seats. The score was 13 to the NDA, 1 to the INDI alliance in 2019. Will that balance tilt? Ayodhya will be tested. Amethi will be tested. Fatehpur will be tested. Lucknow will be tested. Can Rahul Gandhi, yes, retain this Gandhi bastion of Rae Bareli? Amethi to gaya, Rae Bareli bachegi. That's the big question that's being asked on ground. Prestige battle in 6 Mumbai seats between the BJP and its alliance partners. They're all there, and it's going to be the test of emotion, sentiment versus delivery and stability, ladies and gentlemen. Who actually will inherit the Thackeray Virasat? Neck-to-neck fight in 7 West Bengal seats. Again critical. We are getting into the business end of the Bengal elections. Out of those 48 seats, they will want to win the maximum. 42 seats, beg your pardon, in Bengal. Both sides will want to show their supremacy. The BJP is seeking to make gains. The Trinamool Congress wanting to claw back and feed off their assembly election success in the recent past. What's going to happen is what we'll have to watch for. Odisha will also be casting its ballot. they have chosen wisely in the past, separating the state and the centre. This time around, is there a flux even within the state? Naveen Babu is also on the ticket this time. Joining me, Rahul Shivshankar. Zakar Jacob will be joining us in a bit on the magic wall. But Rahul Shivshankar, critical phase, 49 seats. Is this the phase that will decide 300 par?
Well, you know, if you go by what Amit Shah has said, they already are 300 plus. So, Anand, look, fundamentally, size doesn't matter. 49 constituencies, viewers, 49 constituencies, least amongst all phases, going to the polls now. But for those interested in the maths, looking for pure statistics, out of the 49, 39 were with the NDA. The 8 were with the India bloc, 3 others in this particular contest, which are with nobody, which is the BJD, obviously. But beyond the math, viewers, beyond the math, this phase will deliver many verdicts. So this election really in this particular phase is, as I see it, and I've written that in a piece, there are 4 mini verdicts that are going to come through. Is Hindutva still a potent organizing principle of Indian politics? Faizabad is going to vote today in the backdrop of the inauguration of the Ram temple. One of the precincts is Ayodhya. This is where the axis of religion cuts through the axis of civilization, my friends. So it's a critical test of the Ram card. Are the Gandhis still politically relevant? As Anand was saying, lost Amethi. Can they retain Rae Bareli? And let me tell you, it's not going to be a cakewalk. That margin between Sonia Gandhi and the contender there had already begun to shrink. So Rahul Gandhi has his back to the wall coming into this fight, and perhaps that's why there was a lot of dithering. Smriti Irani, many say it's going to be a close contest. I think it's going to be a no contest, but that's my personal view, Anand. But
well, they have been trying to float a lot of talk on ground that she's losing, she's doing. But the transformation of Amethi, we can put it on record. I've been there in 2017, 18 and 19 and in 2024. There is a sea change. There is palpable change. And if one Sansad can do this in a span of 10 years,
let me give you a cold
5 years as a losing candidate and 5 years as a winning candidate.
Let me give you a cold statistic.
It's tough.
Absolutely, cold statistic. Only 30 lakhs saved from the kitty of MPLAD funds that Smriti Irani got. All 9 point whatever crores, only 30 lakhs left. She has put in all the money. She has invested in the right schemes. Now, whether they actually get her a purchase, the voter will ultimately decide. But as of now, she looks like the favorite.
Amethi did not have a SP office. The SP was operating out of the Thana in charge there. The DM was operating out of the SDM's office till the time she got there. The first rack for Khad came when she came there. What? They did not. So there are a lot of little things now. With that, will they remember that, or will they go back to this entire family loyalty, 40 years of loyalty?
Rae Bareli, that question is a potent one. Family loyalty. Also, the BJP not very strong cadre level there. Its organization is slightly weak, but it's doing well. So I think even that is going to be a challenge, as I said. But 2 very important things. Who is the true inheritor of Balasaheb Thackeray's legacy?
Yes.
Don't forget that today in Maharashtra, there are 30% of the seats of the 13 that are going to the election. A third is where there's a direct fight between the Shinde Sena and the UBT Sena. So it's over now to the people. Who do they see as a legitimate Sena? Who do they see as a legatee? May not be a bloodline thing. You know, at the end of the day, Bal Thackeray's legacy might be handed by the voter.
See, is it bloodline or ideology?
Absolutely.
That's the big question. We've got news coming through. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Home Minister Amit Shah have already taken to X and posted that the appeal to people to come out and cast their vote. PM Modi says, and I request all the voters of this phase to cast their votes and create a new record of voting. I especially appeal to women and young voters to participate enthusiastically in this festival of democracy. And is there a story there, ladies and gentlemen, that after phase 1, the voter turnout has steadily picked. It's steadily gone up. Phase 1 is the BJP and the NDA's weakest phase, was the weakest phase. 102 seats. They did not have dominance in majority. They had to improve their strike rate there. And from that phase onwards, where the voter turnout was low, there was a charge, there was an infusion electorally. And does that Will that have an impact? What does a voter turnout of around 67-68% overall, near to 70% actually mean? Let's get a chance and let's try and go across and focus on Maharashtra and Mumbai, where all 7 seats are going to the ballot. Vinaya Deshpande joining us from Dadar, Mayuresh Ganpati at Altamount Road, Vishal Chatkara in Juhu, Yesha Kotak at Malabar Hills joining us at this point. Mayuresh is with us. Mayuresh, this fight in Mumbai, will that decide the tone or set the tone, not just for the BMC elections, but also for the assembly elections? Is everybody looking at Lok Sabha 2024 as what's to come next with respect to Mumbai and the rest of the state?
Absolutely, you can call it as a semi-final for the assembly polls which are going to happen in the end of this year. But as Rahul was mentioning that yes, this is one of the seats where Shiv Sena versus Shiv Sena battle can be seen. It's Arvind Sawant, who was a former minister also in central government, against Yamini Yadav. Yamini Yadav is not that new name. She won her first election, state assembly election in last term, but she's not that known. But Shinde has put all his weight behind Yamini Yadav, and he had given this particular seat or ticket to Yamini Yadav. So it would be very interesting to see that what exactly South Mumbai decides and who basically they vote for, whether they vote for Shinde Shiv Sena or whether they vote for Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Shiv Sena.
True. And that fight will also decide, and they will have the legacy claim coming out big time. Vinaya Deshpande joins us. Vinaya, whereabouts are you? Dadar, what's the fight and what's the sentiment on ground? Are they looking at bloodline or ideology? Who stayed true to Balasaheb's Hindutva, uncompromising Hindutva ideology? Or is it about who carries the Thackeray name? Who betrayed whom?
In fact, yes. Yes, this is that seat where the Shiv Sena versus Shiv Sena face-off takes place, and that is where Rahul Sheware, who's the sitting MP, will be fighting against Anil Desai, who's been pitted against him by Uddhav Thackeray. So Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena represented by Anil Desai versus Rahul Sheware, who is the incumbent MP, who is the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde group leader. And so clearly this is one of the high stakes seats that will be watched out for. Let me also tell you, I am right outside Ujjwal Nikam's residence, where we are expecting him to leave for Siddhivinayak temple in a few minutes from now. So it's likely that within a few minutes we will see action right here. But yes, prominently with respect to Dadar and the Mumbai South Central constituency, which Dadar is a part of, this is an interesting battle, because remember, this is one of the places where the Congress had staked its claim and where Varsha Gaikwad was quite keen to get the ticket. In fact, traditionally this has been a stronghold of both the Shiv Sena as well as the Congress, which had alternatively taken up the seat. But this time on, Uddhav Thackeray refused to give up the seat during the negotiations within the MVA, and that is how we saw that Anil Desai has been pitted against Rahul Sheware. It was a general sentiment though that if the seat would have been given to Congress, that would have worked out much better for MVA. But having said that, Uddhav Thackeray did prevail in that talk. This is not the only seat where he prevailed. We saw several other locations as well where he prevailed and got that seat. But at the same time, this is where there is a vote bank. There is Asia's largest slum, Dharavi, which will dominate how this entire region votes. So several interesting factors in Mumbai South Central, where I am standing right now. The primary face-off between Rahul Sheware and Anil Desai, the biggest factors that will decide are not just loyalty but also the kind of vote bank politics with respect to the backward classes, the Muslims, who exactly will be able to claim that vote share at a time when Rahul Sheware is already an incumbent MP. He is being pitted as somebody who is the representative of Narendra Modi, and so there's a massive campaigning that has been held not just by the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde group but by the BJP as well, saying that you aren't just voting for Rahul Sheware, you're voting for Modi at the end. Will that prove to be a game changer is something that will remain to be seen.
Yes,
but yes, Mumbai
and also
South Central,
that ballot box,
important battle and important face-off.
In that ballot box, on the ballot box, in the EVM, it's also the Chunav Chinna, who has the Dhanush Ban and who has the Ghadi to their name. Because a lot of people will also identify a party by the Chunav Chinna. Yesha Kotak, you are in Malabar Hills. Mumbai, lots of people love to take to social media and write a lot, but they don't come out to vote. You are standing in an area that traditionally sits at home and does not come out to vote. Will Malabar Hills beat their own record? and up their voter turnout.
Absolutely, this is something that we've been Absolutely. In fact, like you rightly mentioned, of course, there was a low voter turnout. Mumbai, maximum city, is known for a minimum voter turnout, and very much here, that is Malabar Hill, which is the South Mumbai part. There is usually a voter turnout anywhere between 30 to 40%. Of course, we've seen that over the last week, while Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in fact out in streets, this was a message that people should come out and vote. This was particularly in areas where there is low voter turnout. We've seen particularly in Northeast as well as in Dadar. Both of the places where he addressed, this was an urge to the citizens to come out and vote, and this is something we've seen, like we've earlier mentioned as well. Prime Minister has taken to social media and asked people to come out and vote in this very seat that we speak of. Considering this is an affluent area, it is known as Mini Bharat because it has a mix of all the crowds, right from Gujaratis to North Indians, also a mix of Hindus as well as Muslims, and which is where the whole battle game lies. In fact, we've seen Arvind Sawant getting those kind of a vote support, particularly because of the Hindu and the Muslim vote bank that now, in fact, the Shiv Sena is eyeing over. Yes.
Well, why should we divide the voter based on their community is one question that perennially is asked, but eventually the electoral conversation is always based on those community lines. But more importantly, jise bhi chahiye vote kar, par jaakar vote kar, Malabar Hills, that's the most important point. 30 to 40% average, everybody should be ashamed. If you are watching in Malabar Hills, you should have to go out and vote from one place that hardly comes out to vote to another place which in the Mumbai has a very, very low average. That is Vishal Chatkara joining us from Juhu. Are the stars going to go out and vote? Not just the stars, along with that their fans, along with clicking selfies and taking pictures, will they also go and cast their ballot?
Well, sure they will, and Janhvi Kapoor is one of the first one who's expected to go out and vote early in the morning at 7 o'clock at Pali Hill. Good morning, Anand. However, I am at Mumbai's Jamnabai Nursery School, which is in Juhu, that comes in the northwest constituency of the Lok Sabha of Mumbai. Juhu is the hub of some of the biggest Bollywood names, Bollywood stars. So we are expected Amitabh Bachchan to come and vote with his family, Jaya Bachchan, Abhishek Bachchan, Aishwarya Rai. We are also expecting here Dharmendra, the Deol family, Dharmendra, Sunny and Bobby, Hema Malini is expected to come here along with daughter Isha Deol. Anupam Kher is expected he's very active and he surely will be coming and vote here. However, there are 3 polling stations in Juhu. Where I am right now is Jamnabai Nursery School. That's the school where Alia Bhatt studied. But Anupam Kher will be coming here. Jitendra lives close by. He will be coming along with his family and his son and daughter.
So one after the other, it's the big brand names who will be coming and big names who will be coming. Thanks for that. And we will go across to them. What's their message to the people? Will they all go and do the Ungli? That's what they said. The Ungli Kar campaign is something that stays back with me. The fact is that you can do the Ungli when it comes to cribbing about it. But are you doing the Ungli when it comes to voting about it and doing casting and doing your fundamental, not just exercising your fundamental right, but also doing what is supposed to be a duty of every citizen of this country, that is go out and vote. The numbers have been picking up after the phase, but will phase 5 set a new record? These 49 seats are critical, ladies and gentlemen, and in pockets where historically voter turnout has not been very, very high. Let's try and understand what are the X factors when it comes to Mumbai, the 7 seats of Mumbai and also Maharashtra. Factionalism. The split in the Shiv Sena and the NCP could cause confusion. Will the voter be true to cadre loyalty, local leader and ideology, or will there be this family bloodline loyalty conversation which will be an impact? First test for Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde after switching loyalty. Can they be leaders? Will they be able to exercise the authority they always felt they had? Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar could capitalize on the emotional aspect, sentiment. Dhoka diya mujhe is what both of them are going and saying on ground. My own betrayed me. That's what the betrayal aspect. And the Maratha sentiment, if it swings and believes that someone has been betrayed, so no matter how wrong they are, will they go and vote for them, or will they say, you are the one who betrayed the original ideologies, you are the one who betrayed the voter, you are the one who betrayed my mandate? Will they remember that? That's the big question. And these are aspects which will come into play. Also, BJP believes sympathy for them over the MVA alliance. So that's the original betrayal that's being claimed, ladies and gentlemen. But is that in the distant past? Is the latest betrayal what's going to stay? This is betrayal versus betrayal story which is being talked about on ground. And of course, infrastructure. Big boost from big ticket projects which will come to the fore. They have shown the Vikas story there. Although the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena will in Mumbai claim that most of these projects have been initiated by them, completed by them. But Devendra Fadnavis said it was actioned and put into play with me. And we would have only continued it had you not given me dhoka. So this is the conversation which is happening on ground. The story of taking Maharashtra to making it a 1 trillion economy, the first state in Bharat to become a 1 trillion economy. So who is taking it towards a Bimaru state and who is taking it towards 1 trillion economy? Who is bringing investments and who is pushing away investments? These are all questions. 50% cap, a hurdle for reservation for Marathas. This Maratha reservation aspect, everybody has voiced it, but then they blame the courts for halting it or stopping it. Now, will this come into play on ground? We'll have to wait and watch. BJP on the back foot, as many groups are also feeling let down with respect to the Maratha quota. Now, how much of this will come into play is the big question, Rahul Shivshankar, the Maratha quota aspect, because Devendra Fadnavis has backed it, but it was the courts that shot it down. Now, this game of trying to play one versus other, and Shiv Sena and Sharad Pawar has always played this 3M combination.
Well,
historically.
Sorry to be a bit of a party pooper here, Anand, but I think this is really a clash of personalities. It's Modi. This is a vote for Modi and his guarantees. Can Modi inspire Maharashtra to turn up and vote for the BJP, for the NDA again? And let me just very quickly tell you that in Maharashtra, the combined new NDA, so to speak, has 11 out of 13 seats. Lot to defend here. The BJP itself is very strongly placed in Maharashtra.
I'm interrupting you right now because you go talk to the pictures a bit, Rahul. You talked about PM Modi's personality and he is at Puri Jagannath.
There you go. So, the Prime Minister is a great past master at choreography. So, here he is again. Now, this is very important. This religiosity is going to play out in Uttar Pradesh fantastically right now on the ground. This is the reason. Why? Because it is that entire area around Ayodhya, Lucknow, all those seats that are going to polls, and Hindutva, the Ram card is on test tonight. Though, of course, Jagannath Puri has a significance of its own. Odisha also has elections going on there. So, look, competitive religiosity, there is no better at the Prime Minister than executing it. But coming back to Maharashtra, which is really where the election is right now.
Puri Jagannath will also have an impact in Mumbai. Because who's carrying forth the Hindutva flag? The religiosity aspect will also come into play here.
Absolutely. It's all very well choreographed. You know, you can take the strand and fit it anywhere today. But let me just tell you, Anand, you were spot on when you said that, look, at the end of the day, it's going to be about a test of loyalties. Who is going to stand with whom? Who do they think was the greater betrayer to the mandate? That is what really this is about. And many people are already saying that the bellwether state this time is Maharashtra. I'm not so sure statistically if you can extrapolate and say that Maharashtra has been an all-time bellwether state, but certainly this election, Maharashtra holds the key to the BJP's fortunes. Its dominance there to the NDA's fortune. Its dominance there was for all to see. It had, out of those 48 seats, the second largest bloc that goes to the Lok Sabha, friends, 39 of those seats were with the NDA last time. It's a huge chunk. It's a huge chunk from one state. I mean, you can pretty much settle this election between Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. If you have those two working for you, you have a little bit of the Hindi heartland, you're almost the halfway point.
See, in the sense, despite the NDA splitting, the BJP held a certain number of seats. If the BJP holds its seats, and there are some gains out of the 15 that had there, and plus 3, 18 that have been given to their allies within the NDA, Shiv Sena Shinde, and of course Ajit Pawar's NCP, plus some of the others. I'm just saying, is it a greater test for Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray?
That's what I've been saying from day one.
If they are not able to make a dent,
this is a make or break election for Uddhav Thackeray. It is a make and break election for the Sharad Pawar faction. Look, Ajit Pawar has many races left. He is at the end of the day the organizational man at the Baramati level. Let's not forget that. The organization spins and revolves around him. But let me just give you an idea of how critical this phase really is. Look at Maharashtra, 11 out of 13 for the NDA. Uttar Pradesh, 13 out of 14. There are no room really to make gains, okay? Let's assume that Rae Bareli continues to vote for the Congress. So that 13 out of 14, they'll have to hang on to 13 out of 14. Bihar, 5 out of 5. JDU, in fact, had 1 seat here. The LKSP had 1. Now, that +1 seat is also very important because many people are saying this time in Bihar, BJP is carrying forward, but the allies may get chewed up by the RJD. We don't know. The jury is out on that one. Jharkhand, 3 out of 3. You can't grow possibly in Jharkhand. Odisha, 3 out of 5. Can you make it 5 out of 5? There's room for growth there. Statistically, West Bengal 3 out of 7, 3 out of 4, 3-4 it was. The TMC at 4. It's a very interesting election for the TMC this time. Because if it has to prove that it can still carry the Hindu vote, this is the phase where it has to prove it.
No, but the fact is that with just ahead of the phase, Mamata Banerjee's comments, will they help her or hurt her?
And remember, the CA card has been pulled out of the sleeve, my friend. It's there now. The guarantee is there. I told you I will make you citizens. So, you know, you're absolutely right. This is a fundamental, real make or break.
But in that arithmetic of 32 out of 49, if you were to see, there are 17 seats where they still have an opportunity. The NDA and the BJP.
39 out of 48. 49.
39 NDA, but the BJP has 32 out of 49. 32. So if it is 39 out of 49, there are 10 seats where they still have to max out. My point is...
So those seats are the Congress 1, Rae Bareli, SS UBT 2, TMC 4. Those are the 7 or 8 seats there, and of course 2 of BJD. So
that's what. So they will have to pull seats from UBT. They'll have to pull seats from Trinamool Congress. They will have to pull seats from Naveen Babu. BJD. So these are the 3 seats, 3 parties they will have to be, and with each one of them, there is a narrative that will be set. Because in Bengal, if they want to do better than 18 last time, they will have to pull seats away from the TMC while retaining their seats. Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena or Uddhav Thackeray's party or the Mashal party, they will have to tell them that they don't have the legacy. The legacy lies with the ideology and not with the surname.
I mean, look, it's a tall order. You know, 17 after today, just to put this larger phase into perspective, after today, 79% of all seats would have seen polling. And there'll still only be 3 states left. After today, 23 states are done with. Delhi is left, Bengal is left, Uttar Pradesh is left, and I think Bihar might be left.
Bihar is left because Maharashtra has 5 phases. With today, it's over.
Exactly. So look, these are the 4 states. Now, this is where the BJP has done pretty well in the past. Bengal is really where they need to grow. Odisha is another place where they will need to really put that little bit of energy.
Now these are the phases which are the retention phases for the NDA and mostly the BJP rather than the accumulation phases or the adding on phases, aggregation phases for the BJP. Those are already over, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2 and 3 were the ones where the BJP stood to gain the maximum. They were defending in lesser place than where they could be aggressive. Most importantly towards the south, because that was phase 1.
But phase 4, last time Telangana
phase 4 also
was very important.
Phase 4 was also important because again that was a place, that was a state where the BJP was deficient, was coming from behind as a challenger. But now going forward, 5, 6, 7, they are going to have to retain more than gain more. Let's move to Bengal quickly. News just coming through. Allegation coming from Howrah. CPM that last night their party local outfit has been ransacked by the Trinamool. Trinamool so far has denied this allegation. Kamalika joins us with more details. Yes, Kamalika.
Yes, this is an allegation which has been reported from Howrah Shakrail area, and this is the CPIM which is levelling this allegation against Trinamool Congress that their local office have been ransacked, and the visual sees it all. Along with that, Anand, today in the morning as election starts from Arambagh, which is a very tight competitive seat, both for Trinamool Congress and BJP, as Trinamool Congress only won by 1400 vote last time. There also the report is coming that BJP Upa Pradhan has been hurt on head. These are the 2 reports of violence still now coming in. Arjun Singh from Barakpur is a Bahubali Neta, he has always been tagged. He is contesting from BJP. That's an area where every time violence takes place, and that is 762 companies of central forces have been deployed for this phase. So this is a very, very important phase for Bengal because 7 of the constituency, we have the CAA factory in Bonga, but Shantanu Thakur is contesting. That's a very important seat for BJP, where it's a BJP seat there. Barakpur is a very important seat for BJP. Lasik Chatterjee, she has also been claiming that there are some areas where agents have not been allowed. She is contesting from Hooghly against Rachna Banerjee, who is a film star, who is a TV star from Trinamool Congress. So till now, these are the 2 violence incidents. But politically, this phase is very, very important for both BJP and Trinamool Congress. Because like in Barakpur State, it's a do-or-die situation for both Arjun Singh and Parker Bhomik. Also in Hooghly, it is very important, the fight. Bonga, BJP has an edge because of the CAA. That's what Shantanu Thakur claims. So we'll really have to say, I'm keeping my fingers crossed again, whether it will be a violence-free or a violence day.
No, but Mamata Banerjee's comments about the Ramakrishna mission just about 2 days ago, in fact over the weekend, that Kamalika, and the other aspect is this left becoming so aggressive on ground. That means there is no INDI alliance on ground. How much of that is going to hurt the Trinamool's cause or the BJP's cause? Because the BJP stood to gain at the cost of the left the most in Bengal.
Absolutely, Anand. You have just rightly pointed out that this left aggression on ground that, last 12 years we have not seen, but this time we have seen a little bit of left aggression on ground. This is going to hurt the anti-BJP vote bloc. Now, who is the shareholders of anti-BJP bloc? It's the Congress, it's the Trinamool Congress and left. Left and Congress are together, so it's going to hurt Trinamool Congress. As far as the comments of Mamata Banerjee is concerned, that has really sparked in controversy because she has said on Bharat Sevashram Shambhu Ramakrishna Mission, ISKCON, which are known for their own causes. This is one statement which is really is a very controversial statement, and none other than the Prime Minister has reacted to it. Various Hindu Sangatans have been reacting on this. How this statement actually works out in the ballot box, that we have to see. These are the faces which are considered at the TMC bastions, like the South Chobbish Pargana, North Chobbish Pargana. Voting is yet to take place in all these areas. But definitely, as far as Hooghly is concerned, Barakpur is concerned, where there is a sizable amount of non-Bengali population and a Hindutva factor is there, how much of this statement really becomes a factor, that we'll have to see definitely when the ballot box is opened up.
Well, not so long ago, the Mamata Banerjee would say that there is no Ram in Bengal, and one of the constituencies going to the ballot today is Srirampur. So you can understand, ladies and gentlemen, the history and the denial and now the acceptance. There's been a lot that's happened in Bengal. Ram to Bengal mein hai hi nahi. She has said it in the past, especially when the Jai Shri Ram aspect had come to play. And now one of the constituencies today going to polls is Srirampur. Ironical though. Let's listen into what Arjun Singh had to say and then we'll take it to Rahul Shivshankar.
हमारे साथ अर्जुन सिंह है। आज सुबह से कोई ऐसा कंप्लेन कुछ आया है?
मैं तो आपको बता दिया कि 190, 123, 198, 99 इन जगहों पर पैरामिलिट्री, 2 जगहों पर पैरामिलिट्री नहीं है, 98, 99 में और 123 में एजेंट को मार के भगा दिया गया है, उसको अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर फाड़ दिया गया है। चैनल बोल के एक अपराधी है, मेंबर है, इलेक्शन कमीशन को ऑलरेडी हम लोगों ने कंप्लेंट किया।
वोट देने जाएंगे, शांतिपूर्ण होगा वोट?
ये तो डिपेंड करता है तृणमूल कांग्रेस के ऊपर। तृणमूल कांग्रेस क्या चाहती है?
Arjun Singh, will you call him the Palturam of Bengal?
Well, look, there are so many opportunists in politics that it will be unfair just to sort of single him out. But look, yes, obviously, people want to go to places where they think that the grass is the greenest, so I won't fault him for that. But this Mamata Banerjee comment, I was doing some research and I tweeted yesterday, it's very fascinating. Very few politicians can actually take the moral high ground when it comes to mixing religion with politics. I mean, Mamata Banerjee, last year, Eid celebrations, goes out there and appeals to the entire Muslim community. Forget about Ramakrishna mission, 1 mission, 1.5 missions. The entire Muslim community must back me against RSS BJP. And she has a problem with the Ramakrishna mission saying that, okay, we might work for, not that they have ever said that, I'm just saying she has a problem with one faction of one particular religion.
No, she made a brazen solicitation this time also to the entire Muslim community in Bengal when she tried to say that, don't go to left or Congress, you have to stick with me.
Has stood behind her. So, many religion, the heads of many of these sort of dharam gurus from, the Islamic side of the fence have stood with her. She shared the platform with them. That is not mixing religion with politics.
Imam backed Sonia Gandhi, the Congress in the past.
That is not mixing religion with politics. Of course, on the Shahi Imam issue, the Congress always denies it, but that's just, it's incidental. But the fact is, Anand, that look, I am also looking very closely at Bihar today. Saran, important seat. You see, here, if this is now the second Lalu daughter who has stepped into politics, in effect, the fourth scion of the Yadav Ghanana that has got into politics. Saran is a very important seat. It is Lalu's base. This is where he made himself relevant to Indian politics. It also is attached very closely with another doyen of Bihar politics who led the social justice movement, JP. So if you stand in that chalk in the middle of Saran, you see history colliding, right? The fact is, if Rohini Acharya Yadav can pull this one off, that tells me that there is a tough fight for the BJP NDA on the ground in Bihar.
Yeah.
If she can't...
So clearly Tejaswi is ratcheting it up. It will be credit to Tejaswi and the...
That's right. This is the bellwether seat. This is it. If the Yadav name is still a factor in the Lok Sabha election in Bihar, if the Yadav vote is still a factor, it has to make itself shown today. It's not going to be easy. Rajiv Pratap Rudy is not a pushover. He's sitting MP from there. So this is a... And he's been there.
Saran has been a stronghold of the BJP for a while.
Absolutely, for a long time now. So this is not an easy contest. And it will therefore be the defining contest of this election.
The other seat also becomes interesting. Chirag Paswan is on the ticket. Pashupati Paras, the uncle, is back on. So they are all two separate parties but still in the same alliance. How is that going to help Chirag Paswan's cause in this fight that is Hajipur?
Yeah, I think, there is a sympathy factor for Chirag. His father used to win this seat by record margins. He was in the Guinness Book of World Records for the margin that he once scored. I think the Prime Minister from day one showed a lot of sort of faith in him. That's of course one of the stars of Bollywood.
Yeah, Farhan Akhtar and Zoya Akhtar, they are there. So the Akhtar family, they have gone in Farhan. That's Zoya, and they've gone to cast their ballot.
Will they be voting for the Shiv Sena, I wonder?
No comments. Well, as long as they come out to vote, doesn't matter who they vote for and who you vote for, ladies and gentlemen.
Wouldn't it be an irony?
What matters to us right now is that everybody goes out to vote. Kisko vote kiya? That's not a question that we need to ask today. Kisko vote kiya? That will be evident on result day. But the fact is that...
But it's an important factor. Yeah, if the Muslim vote... I'm not trying to suggest here that we should categorize people by their faith, etc. But the Muslim vote is an important one in this area of Maharashtra, Mumbai and Greater Mumbai. And if that starts moving towards the Shiv Sena, UBT, that's an interesting development. It just tells you the entire...
In that case, then, are they moving to the INDI alliance because of the Congress being a part of it? Or is it because of Uddhav Thackeray?
And where does that...
Or are they going to choose based on what work is done and are they looking...
And that's the ideology question, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the
ideology question. What does the real committed voter of the Shiv Sena then do?
Correct. Well, but more importantly, right now, the Akhtars have come out to vote. Will they, Farhan Akhtar, Zoya, they have come out to vote. Will the others come out to vote? That's the other aspect. And will not just the celebrities and the stars, but the normal common denizens of Mumbai, Greater Mumbai, will they also come out to vote, cast the ballot and better the average of Mumbai as it has been in the past compared to what it has been in the past is the big question, ladies and gentlemen. We'll continue the conversation and the coverage on Battle for Bharat after a very short break. Stay with us.
pump up the workers, the Aam Aadmi Party cadre, so that they are able to make that statement, make that dramatics over here. Optics are very important in any elections, and this time around they know the kind of dent they have had on their image because of this entire Swati Maliwal episode. They have to portray something on a very hard side, that see this incident had happened and this is being orchestrated by the Bharatiya Janata Party. But we are here to protest against the anyay, so-called anyay, quote-unquote, which Arvind Kejriwal talks about against their party. Once again, I want to reiterate that the entire social media, there is a lot of anger amongst the general public, because what they are saying is that this is an issue which is pertaining to women's safety, and why bring out politics and other issues in it. You can see some sort of altercation have already begun. The gates of the Aam Aadmi Party office are open. The workers are starting to gather outside. The workers are starting to gather outside the party headquarters. Police officials are also present over here. But as of now, one thing is clear: the Aam Aadmi Party workers are not ready to budge, and in fact, the police is also in no mood to allow them to move towards the BJP headquarters. Because in these situations, there is a protocol which you need to follow. You have to ask for permission. Then only you can move towards or do something like this. But one thing is also clear, that the Aam Aadmi Party workers have been actually, the Kejriwal government and Kejriwal himself has tried to put out a message that you have to move towards the headquarters at any cost, because today this is a battle for truth, because he says that their leaders are being targeted just because their party is growing on the national level and BJP is not able to counter them. In fact, he also went on to say that how he met so many people, and then they say that PM is scared of the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's try and get you the visuals from this very side, where the workers are trying to get off the AAP headquarters. As of now, some workers are trying to get out, but the leadership is still inside. Probably they are trying to make their way out of the AAP headquarters. Workers are present in good numbers over here. In fact, we have seen more strength by the AAP workers, but this time around the strength is not that great. But still, workers are here in very huge numbers, trying to put across that one message, that Arvind Kejriwal and the entire Aam Aadmi Party is deliberately targeted so that their voice could be muzzled, they could lose elections. But as of now, Swati Maliwal has also come out and spoken about it, how her image is being targeted, her character assassination is being done in this entire situation.
Right, Yash, as we can already see, the workers have started coming out of the premises. We can see that Delhi police is on high alert at the moment. Other security forces have also been deployed in that particular area, considering how VVIP that particular region is. But Anshul continues to stay with us on the broadcast as well. Anshul, tell us if there has been any activity around the area that you are currently reporting from.
So yes, it has just been announced by the
mounted an attack at the central government at the same time. But has he mentioned Swati Maliwal's case at all in his address so far?
Nowhere, Sakshi, nowhere he mentioned Swati Maliwal in his address. He just spoke about today's plan and how their leaders are being targeted. In fact, CM Kejriwal is about to conclude. In fact, in his address, while he is concluding, he said that he will be leading this very protest. They will try to move towards the BJP headquarters, and in case if they are unable to move towards the BJP headquarters, they will be sitting here for half an hour outside the barricading which has been placed by the Delhi police. No word on Swati Maliwal still from Arvind Kejriwal. That is the big question. Why Arvind Kejriwal is not speaking about the issue of Swati Maliwal? Why he is not hitting the bull's eye over here? Because the issue is very clear. This is not about leaders being involved in a financial fraud or any sort of other discrepancy of their working. This is about women's modesty we're talking about. In fact, this is the same attack which the BJP has also mounted on them continuously. His address is about to conclude. mood. All the senior leaders are on the stage, from the likes of Raghav Chadda to the Delhi leaders. The top brass is here. The workers are present inside. Less workers are outside. In moments from now, we will be seeing leaders moving out of this very door so that they can move towards the headquarters of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And once again, they are trying to put out this message that how this entire situation is being orchestrated by the Bharatiya Janata Party. And let me give you an alert. Arvind Kejriwal has just concluded his speech, and in some
Back on, and just over 10 hours left for you to go and cast your ballot. The 7 seats of Mumbai. Mumbaikars go out to vote. Piyush Goyal is stepping out to cast his ballot. He's also on the ticket from Mumbai North. Gopal Shetty vacating his seat for Piyush Goyal. Gopal Shetty has been campaigning along with Piyush Goyal. Piyush Goyal, the challenge for him is to increase the margin of victory against his Congress rival. So it's a two-way fight, direct fight there. Largely, most of the other candidates insignificant, and it will be a big test for the Union Minister Piyush Goyal. Is he going to speak soon after casting his ballot? We'll have to wait and watch. These are pictures that are just coming through. If he speaks, let's just listen to if he's speaking. Yeah. Well, it's not. I think he's just going there to cast his vote, and once he casts his vote, after that he will step out and speak. We'll go back and we'll play that out for you, that conversation. But first, let's go to that one all-important seat of Jammu and Kashmir, the Union Territory that is going into the polls, and that is Baramulla. Ladakh also, the Union Territory of Ladakh also goes to its ballot. There has been a lot that's happened in Ladakh in the recent months, with sit-in protests and a lot of complaints that have come through. There have also been a replacement of the MP's ticket by the BJP. And of course, this contest, Mir Mohammad Fayaz of the PDP, Sajjad Ghani Lone and of the independent candidate of the JKPC, and of course Omar Abdullah of the National Conference. Omar Abdullah moving out of Srinagar towards North Kashmir. Ishan Wani now joins us. Ishan, lot of developments, disturbing ones that have happened over the weekend. Will they have an impact on these polls in Baramulla?
Hardly, because people have decided to cast their vote, and we have seen that in Srinagar Lok Sabha seat, that historic turnout after 1996 was a reminder of the fact that people want to make their voice heard. Political parties can say different things, that it is a vote against 370, while centre is claiming it's a success of their policies, and that's why the people want to come out and freely exercise their franchise. But the fact is that people are no longer afraid, and they want to come out and pick up their representative. There has been this gap of electoral process taking place in Jammu and Kashmir, and many of the people who you speak with, it resonates with them that they want their local representative and give back power from Babus to the elected representatives of their area so that they can help them into their day-to-day life issues. But yes, 370 has been a poll pitch from the regional political parties and trying to dominate the entire discourse. We haven't seen much talk about development from the regional political parties, but they have been talking about 370 and restoring what they call as people's right. But yes, we have seen first-time voters in numbers coming out, people who haven't voted earlier, they are for the first time voting in these elections. People who have boycotted, stayed away, they have come out. Even Jamaat-e-Islami has traditionally been a pro-Pakistan outfit and has been trying to instigate boycott in Kashmir, have also casted their vote. This queue in Baramulla constituency, both young and old have come out. You will get a color of how vibrant the elections are this time around in this particular Baramulla constituency as well. Key figures like Omar Abdullah, Sajjad Lone, and a dark horse like Engineer Rashid, who has been in jail and his sons have been campaigning for him, is something which is bringing up more interest in these elections. This is a very difficult seat. It will not be easy. We'll speak to some voters here. क्या मुद्दे हैं जिन पर आप आज वोट करना चाह रहे हैं?
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम जी, मेरा नाम मोहम्मद इकबाल है जी, मैं मागाम से हूँ। मुद्दा यही है कि हमारा काम हो जाए और जो हमारी मांगे हैं, जिसको हम वोट डालने जा रहे हैं, तो वो हमारी मांगे पूरी करे।
Thank you. But yes,
delivery Ishan,
where we have seen
National Conference versus PDP versus JKPC, and then you're also saying that Engineer Rashid is also there, so his sons have been campaigning. But more importantly, it's encouraging to see people are coming out to vote. and they're doing it in Baramulla, they're doing it in Ladakh. And of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on his temple run this early morning, phase 5. Every election phase, he has gone to a religious place or a landmark position, and then there will also be a rally which will be close to a constituency that is going to a ballot. It's been choreographed like brilliantly, like Rahul Shankar was mentioning. He's a past master at this election choreography, and why not? Because right now he's not just the Prime Minister of the country, he's the star campaigner of the BJP. But more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, this Astha is not put on. This Astha is real, and you can see it in the bhakti that the Prime Minister shows. Puri Jagannath is an important destination for a lot of people, and especially the comments that have been made recently. And this will have an impact in neighboring Bengal too. Based on the comments made by Mamata Banerjee, who's tried to call out the Ramakrishna Mission and ISKCON and some of the other outfits and trying to blame them of trying to support the BJP. But more importantly, Prime Minister coming out and saying, my Astha remains solid, my work remains solid. And of course, the messaging is clear, who stands for Hindutva and who stands otherwise. The Hindutva versus rest, that's the messaging that's also coming out. Another important development, Zaka Jacob is in the studio. Caffeine overload or not, we'll have to see. But the magic wall gets active, ladies and gentlemen, but after a short break. Stay with us.
बस मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा, मैं चाहता हूँ कि मेरा भारत जो है वो विकसित रहे, वो मजबूत रहे, एंड बस उसी को दिमाग में रखते हुए मैंने वोट किया और उसी हिसाब से पूरा भारत वोट करे जो उनके दिमाग में सही लगे.
We are expecting all the leaders, all the Karyakartas, MLAs, MPs moving out of this very place and in fact then going towards the barricading and then try to make their way towards the BJP headquarters.
But looking at the barricading, Yash, are there even any slightest of possibilities of the workers getting through the barricading? Because we can see the security has been beefed up extremely.
Well, Sakshi, the work of the Aam Aadmi Party workers will be to actually get to the BJP headquarters because this is what they've been told by the senior leadership and in fact Arvind Kejriwal himself. On the other hand, the police is there to stop them and the reason is that no permission has been sought. In fact, you can see the leaders have started to move out and the Karyakartas have started to actually move out of the party headquarters and they are actually starting to go towards the BJP headquarters. The music is on. They are trying to trying to pump up the workers, the Aam Aadmi Party cadre, so that they are able to make that statement, make that dramatics over here. Optics are very important in any elections, and this time around they know the kind of dent they have had on their image because of the entire Swati Maliwal episode. They have to portray something on a very hard side that this incident had happened and this is being orchestrated by the Bharatiya Janata Party. But we are here to protest against the Anyay, so-called Anyay, quote-unquote, which Arvind Kejriwal talks about against their party. Once again, I want to reiterate that the entire social media, there is a lot of anger amongst the general public because what they are saying is that this is an issue which is pertaining to women's safety and why bring out politics and other issues in it. You can see some sort of altercation have already begun. The gates of the Aam Aadmi Party office are open. The workers are starting to gather outside the party headquarters. Police officials are also present over here. But as of now, one thing is clear: the Aam Aadmi Party workers are not ready to budge, and in fact, the police is also in no mood to allow them to move towards the BJP headquarters. Because in these situations, there is a protocol which you need to follow. You have to ask for permission. Then only you can move towards or do something like this. But one thing is also clear that the Aam Aadmi Party workers have been actually the Kejriwal government and Kejriwal himself has tried to put out a message that you have to move towards the headquarters at any cost because today this is a battle for truth because he says that their leaders are being targeted just because their party is growing on the national level and BJP is not able to counter them. In fact, he also went on to say that how he met so many people and then they say that PM is scared of the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's try and get you the visuals from this very side where the workers are trying to get out of the AAP headquarters. As of now, some workers are trying to get out, but the leadership is still inside. Probably they are trying to make their way out of the AAP headquarters. Workers are present in good numbers over here. In fact, we have seen more strength by the AAP workers, but this time around the strength is not that great. But still, workers are here in very huge numbers trying to put across that one message that Arvind Kejriwal and the entire Aam Aadmi Party is deliberately targeted so that their voice could be muzzled, they could lose elections. But as of now, Swati Maliwal has also come out and spoken about it, how her image is being targeted, her character assassination is being done in this entire situation.
Are you doing the ungli when it comes to voting about it and doing casting and doing your fundamental, not just exercising your fundamental right, but also doing what is supposed to be a duty of every citizen of this country, that is go out and vote. The numbers have been picking up after the phase, but will phase 5 set a new record? These 49 seats are critical, ladies and gentlemen, and in pockets where historically voter turnout has not been very, very high. Let's try and understand what are the X factors when it comes to Mumbai, the 7 seats of Mumbai, and also
नीचे हो, आपके बैंक अकाउंट में 8,500 रुपया महीने का खटाखट 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 आता रहेगा।
महलों में पैदा होने वाले कहते हैं देश का विकास अपने आप होगा, और कहते क्या है, विकास कैसे होगा? बोले खटाखट खटाखट।
कांग्रेस में तो पताका हाथ लगाकर दिखा दे, ईंट से ईंट ना बजा दी तो हम भी अमेठी वाले हैं।
यहाँ एक भाजपा की प्रत्याशी आई जो आज आपकी सांसद है और उन्होंने काफी झूठ फैलाए।
विश्वासघात उद्धव ठाकरे जी मोदी जी के साथ, देवेंद्र फडणवीस के साथ।
Modi has been saved by Bala Saheb Thackeray. So because of him, he is there today.
আমরা সরকার তৈরি করব, আমরা জোটে থাকবো, জোটে আছি আমরা।
अभी ये लोग तो ये सब बोलेंगे देख के लोग थोड़ा सा लग रहा है मोदी जी को देख।
$10 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Just 10 hours on phase 5 that you have if your vote is in any of these 49 constituencies that are going to the ballot to cast your vote. And that's why we are telling you, go vote. That's the campaign here at CNN News 18. The numbers have increased phase by phase. Let these 49 seats in phase 5 turn out record number of voting. And that's the appeal the Prime Minister and the Home Minister have also made. That's the appeal that the BSP Supremo Mayawati has also made. And why am I talking about BSP Supremo Mayawati? Because those 14 seats of Uttar Pradesh are critical, where the NDA is actually defending 13 out of the 14. One went to the INDI alliance the last time. Will that be the story this time around, or will there be a certain level of attrition or gain, whichever way you look at it? Some very interesting contest this time around, ladies and gentlemen, as we set up the X factor for Uttar Pradesh. At the top of 8 a.m. in this battle for Bharat, the BJP hopes to ride on fulfilling the Mandir promise. The Prime Minister is at Puri Jagannath. There was a lot that was happening at Amethi. There's a lot that's happening at Ayodhya. Ayodhya goes to the ballot this time around in this phase, and the number of devotees thronging Ram Mandir and Ram Lala to do a darshan of Ram Lala is immense. The opposition's controversial remarks, will it hurt their cause? Is the Astha now an underlying sentiment which is there parallelly along with all the Vikas issues? Yogi Modi double engine. If there is a Modi vote in UP, there is a Yogi vote in UP. Ye mere bhi CM hai is something the PM has said multiple times. And Yogi Adityanath was right next to the Prime Minister all around in Varanasi too. Focus on the infra projects and women's safety, law and order. Big statement on ground. The Labhartis in Uttar Pradesh, will they come out to vote in large numbers? Center-state collaboration is in focus. The double engine ki sarkar manifest best in Uttar Pradesh. It's the case study for the NDA. Family bastions are at stake for the opposition, but there is also the challenge for Braj Bhushan Sharan Singh and his son. So, BJP hoping to maximize its footprint with new allies. The prestige battle, alliances have also changed. On ground, there are some configurations, some alignments and realignment. The opposition hoping to capitalize on this caste fault lines. Somewhere they are picking up the Brahmins are upset. Elsewhere they are picking up the Kshatriyas are upset. Third place, they are picking up another caste fault line. That's what the opposition is quietly trying to do on ground. Will it manifest? Caste census chorus wanes as more phases are voting. They are not focusing on that. They are actually trying to create fissures within BJP's core voting. The Kisan distress, the opposition vowing MSP and loan waiver for farmers. Is that a factor this time around? Big question. And pre-poll clearance of key proposals by the state is also something which is important. But it's a personality clash, ladies and gentlemen. The Yogi Modi combine and the local neta on ground, how much of an impact, especially the family bastions of Amethi and Rae Bareli. Zaka Jacob is with us, so let's begin with the magic wall and help you beat that jet lag as you dash from the airport straight into our studios. Zaka, go ahead.
I think, like you said, the personality battles are going to be in focus, particularly Amethi and Rae Bareli. We've seen the drama and the politics. So Mr. Rahul Gandhi shifting from the Amethi constituency, fighting now from Rae Bareli, taking on Dinesh Pratap Singh of the BJP. Remember, he used to be in the Congress. His family was a Congress family some years ago, and then of course he's been an MLC with the BJP. Last time around, he took on Sonia Gandhi and he reduced her winning margin to a little over 1 lakh or so. In the neighbouring seat, of course, this is the reason why Rahul Gandhi shifted his constituency. Smriti Irani beat him for the very first time. Rahul Gandhi has been an MP since 2004. For the very first time in his 20 years as MP, he got beaten in 2019 by 55,000 votes by Union Minister Smriti Irani. There was this whole drama surrounding, will he fight from there? Will Priyanka Gandhi fight from there? Will it be a Smriti versus Priyanka battle? But KL Sharma, who was sort of a man Friday for the Gandhis in both Amethi and Rae Bareli, a man who was managing the constituency for the Gandhis, he has been given the ticket. Will it be a David versus Goliath like it happened last time? Smriti Irani felling Rahul Gandhi. Will KL Sharma be able to do that this time around? I'm not sure. I was not on ground. Anand was on ground. But these are the two big high-profile battles. I also want to quickly run you through some of the others. Lucknow, again, a very prestigious seat, not least because it's the capital of Uttar Pradesh. It's a seat that was held by the legendary, the great man Atal Bihari Vajpayee for a number of terms. Rajnath Singh seeking a third straight term from Lucknow. And then, if of course, we have this whole battle that's been going on in Kesarganj, the whole drama around Braj Bhushan Sharan Singh, the former WFI president. He was accused by India's top female wrestlers of molestation and sexual harassment. And then, of course, his son, Karan Bhushan Singh, managing to get the ticket. He's taking on Bhagat Ram of the Samajwadi Party. There's also Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti. She's seeking a fourth term from the Fatehpur constituency. So this part of Uttar Pradesh, the central part, the Awadh region as it's known, Lucknow and surrounding areas, have been a stronghold of the BJP. Just look at this. Only the Rae Bareli seat was won by the Congress. All the other seats out of the 14, 13 were won by the BJP at over 50% margin. The India bloc having just one seat of Rae Bareli. This seat, again, the BSP, this region, it's not so much of a stronghold of the BSP. The BSP is much more active in western Uttar Pradesh or in eastern Uttar Pradesh, but in the central part, and Rahul Shivshankar weigh in on this, it's always been sort of heartland BJP. And this is Amethi rivalry not too far away from Ayodhya, which is where, of course, this election seems to be centered around the Ram Mandir issue. So certainly expect some impact in this belt.
Yeah, the Awadh region really has been polarized very effectively by the Bharatiya Janata Party around the symbolism of Ram and Hindutva. The Bundelkhand area, of course, is where you can see a lot of traction for the BSP. It does pick up some votes from there. But fundamentally, and let's not forget this, if you just look at that board, viewers, the BJP starts at 50% in most of these seats. The opposition India bloc starts much lower. In the last election, when the BSP and SP were together, at least they started from a number, vote share terms, which was close to the NDA. Right now, there's a massive gap. So unless there is a massive swing away from the BJP, it's going to be virtually impossible.
So
the
20%
only thing,
difference, 50% BJP,
Absolutely.
30% for India
20%
Alliance.
is
You don't
very
see 20% swings.
No, and if you were seeing that, Rahul Gandhi would have been contesting from Amethi,
Correct.
and Priyanka from Rae Bareli, and perhaps there would be a huge number of other people in the fray too. So look, that seat is important. It's a prestige battle. It is really about whether the Gandhi Parivar or the UP will be mukt of the Gandhi, so to speak, as the BJP claims. That's really where this fight is, because there's really no other room for the BJP to grow here. It will hope that the Ram card will continue to consolidate its vote base. I think there will be attrition, but I don't think it will be 20%.
Here is the thing. I'll tell you what. One of the things with Bundelkhand is the Ken-Betwa project. The water issues in the Bundelkhand region and also the corridor that's building. See, the Vikas issue, the economics issue around the Vindhyavasini corridor project, all of these things, development has happened. It's changed the lives of people.
And 2014,
they are getting 24
when
hours
Modi
water
went
now.
to this area, he promised that project.
Yes.
The first promise he actually made in Uttar Pradesh.
The delivery aspect is more important. And with Ayodhya, Zaka and Rahul, along with Ayodhya, Sultanpur is getting developed. That entire belt between Amethi and Ayodhya are getting developed. Because the new Udan project is coming there. That airport which was being used as a family bastion and a landing area only for the dons, mafia dons and the big families has now become an Udan airport. Highways are coming there. The connectivity from Lucknow to Amethi, it's taken me 4.5 hours in the past. It takes us less than 2 hours and 15 minutes now. So that connectivity has improved. Lives have changed. Economically, lives have changed. Yes, they have a vote share gap, but who's delivered? What's happened in 10 years and what's happened in 40 is a big factor. Yes, there is a family sentiment. Will that affect in Rae Bareli? Let's try and find out. Sherin Elizabeth is with us from Rae Bareli, Siddhant Mishra in Lucknow, Arun Dhata in Amethi. Sherin, what's the voter turnout in Rae Bareli? Rahul Gandhi's late entry versus Dinesh Pratap Singh's continued perseverance in Rae Bareli.
Well, that is quite visible on ground, the continuing perseverance by Dinesh Pratap Singh. In fact, if I ask my camera person to zoom and show you that this is the BJP candidate, Dinesh Pratap Singh, who has just come here, has in fact done casting his vote and is speaking to the media. And right now he is in fact talking about how the achievement as far as Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi are concerned is only that they look like their grandmother Indira Gandhi. Apart from that, they have not done anything on ground. Also hitting out at Sonia Gandhi, saying that in last 20 years they have not really done anything much on the ground. So he's very confident that both Amethi and Rae Bareli will in fact be won by the BJP, and Congress account that was just one particular constituency was there in 2019. That constituency, Rae Bareli, will also be closed down by the BJP is what he's in fact talking while speaking to the media. We'll also try to get in a few words from him. But you can see the voter turnout, as I was talking about. There is huge number of voters that are already pouring in since it's just been like an hour since the voting has started, and huge lines can be witnessed at the polling booth here at Rae Bareli. I'll speak to some of them who are coming. आप लोग वोट करने के लिए जा रहे हैं? क्या दिमाग में रख के वोट करने के लिए जा रहे हैं आज?
अरे प्रधान तो जीत जाए लोगों ने, और क्या रख के जा रहे हैं दिमाग में?
लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या समस्याएं हैं, क्या है, क्या दिक्कतें हैं?
समस्याएं भैया ऊपर वाले काटेंगे।
अच्छा आप
वही है बेटिया।
क्या यहाँ पे मूड
No,
क्या है
Sherin-
लोगों का?
Sherin-
समस्या सिर्फ भगवान ही देखेंगे, आपके एमपी सांसद भी देखेंगे।
No, Sherin, the point is that for the first word that she said and then she kept quiet. See, this is something which is symbolic of the voter everywhere. They know who they want to vote for, what they're going to vote for, but they will not tell us. It's not about samasya, it's about the change that's happened in Amethi and Rae Bareli. When you ask them about that's what they will talk. The first word that she let slip was Pradhan, and then she kept quiet. So they will keep their cards close to their chest, but that's what we will see. But will that translate, and is that the story booth after booth? The results will declare or will determine. Siddhant Mishra is in Lucknow. And Rajnath Singh ji has been actively campaigning, but there is a lot. Lucknow is a city which in itself becomes the destination everybody wants to go to once they go to Lucknow. It's a beautiful city in itself. What's the story for Rajnath Singh, and what's the story in Lucknow? Is it a no contest, or is he going to win with a larger vote?
That's right, Anand. So we are in Lucknow, and in fact, we can expect Rajnath Singh along with his family to come and vote in some time from now. Right now, we're waiting for Deputy CM, and in fact, the cops are right now asking us to move outside, Anand. Sorry for the inconvenience. But at this time, we are in Lucknow, Anand. And the good part about Lucknow city is, Bimba sir, chhod dijiye, wo apna kaam kar rahe hain. The good part, Anand, about Lucknow city is that, whenever you are reporting in Lucknow city area, then people do come out in large numbers to vote in the morning only. And since morning, I have been witnessing a lot of people coming to polling booth. In fact, I was at a Mall Avenue polling booth also. Now I have come to the polling booth where Deputy CM Brijesh Pathak is going to cast his vote. And in fact, people are turning out in large numbers. So this time again, Lucknow is ready with a muskurahat, with a smile, to break all previous records. And as far as Rajnath Singh is concerned, Ravidas Mehrotra is in fray from Samajwadi Party. But the target that Bharatiya Janata Party has set from Lucknow seat, Anand, is to win by the margin of 8 lakh votes. So 5 lakh is the target campaign slogan that they have given. But the margin that they want to achieve is 8 lakh votes.
8 lakh votes.
For that, Rajnath Singh's son Neeraj Singh has been working very hard.
So
and in fact, the entire
apratyashit
cadre-
jeet. Apratyashit
Yes,
jeet. When Brajesh Pathak ji comes there, and if we get a word, we'll try and come back to you. Just quickly going across to Arun Dhanta and Amethi. Lot of talk on ground being spread around. Rumor mongering has happened. I was in Amethi. The transformation for me was visible with my naked eye compared to when I went there last when I'd gone in 2014, 2017, 2019, 2022, and also now 2024. So over a period of last 10 years, I've gone there multiple times between years. Arun Dhanta, what's the response of the voter on ground? I think what's critical on ground is the fact that the voter must turn out to vote. Are the voters turning out to vote in Amethi? Arun, can you hear me? We'll try and connect with Arun Dhanta in just a bit. But critically, we'll just try and see if we can. When we were speaking with Smriti Irani, she espoused a lot of confidence, but there was a lot of talk on ground that the family loyalties will be rekindled. And will that happen with the likes of Mr. Sharma, who's the candidate against Ms. Smriti Irani? One of the questions that Smriti ji was asking repeatedly is that if they are so confident that I have done a bad job, why is it that one of the Gandhi scions did not come and fight in Amethi? And that's a point that Rahul Shivshankar and Zaka were also making. We'll try and connect with Arun Dhanta in just a bit. If they were family bastions, do you believe, Zaka, that Priyanka Vadra would not have contested?
No, at the very least, Rahul Gandhi himself would have fought from Amethi. I think, Rahul was making this point earlier. I think netas are supposed to be very clued into the ground. They're supposed to have their ear to the ground. Somewhere, Rahul Gandhi felt that if he were to be locked in again in that battle with Smriti Irani, and if he were to lose to her a second time, that would be a debilitating blow, which means that it would actually imperil his chances of leadership, if you will. Of course, he is the de facto leader of the Congress party, no doubt about it. But I think there was a sense that, look, Rae Bareli might be a safer seat and let's go for the safer option. The problem is, I think the voter has reached a stage in this country where the voter can sense this. I mean, as they say in this part of the world, Maidan chhod diya. I don't think that message should have gone out. Certainly that, Rahul Gandhi has left the field the Amethi field and has gone to his mother's seat, which, for whatever it's worth, in the Congress perception, is a safer seat for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. But I think I also want to refer to what's happening on the screen right now. The Prime Minister is taking out a massive roadshow in Puri. You can see Sambit Patra, who is the BJP's candidate there. He's standing against Arup Patnaik, who used to be a former police commissioner in Mumbai city. Of course, he's contesting on a BJD ticket, and Sambit Patra used to be a national spokesperson of the BJP, very familiar face on television. The Prime Minister taking out this rally. Rahul, significant that it's A, temple town, B, this is one of the best hopes for the BJP in terms of a seat that they've not won in Odisha, hoping to convert that, snatch that from the BJD. And again, it's all timed to the fact that today is phase 5 of polling.
Phase 5 and 25 seats, assembly seats are going to the polls in Odisha today. So, and it's not in Puri, but in and around that in Odisha. So, it's timed to that level, Rahul.
Yeah,
and last time around, Sambit Patra lost out by a narrow margin because he didn't have time to cultivate. This time around, he spent a lot of time in Puri.
Yeah, of course. That being said, let's not forget that the BJD itself is at an inflection point this time around. So there has been, at least optically, the transferring of, let's say, authority by Mr. Patnaik to Mr. Pandian, who is thought to be at least described by the BJP as an outsider, but has spent a good number of years as a bureaucrat managing the BJD, managing the state. So, you know, he's also married into the state in some ways. So I think that that outsider tag may not play such a big role, but what definitely will is whether the cadres themselves look to him as perhaps the natural inheritor of the Patnaik legacy. I think that's really where the issue is going to sort of hinge for the BJD. So this is really a critical election for the BJD, and I think the BJP really thinks that if there is a chance this time to move the needle in Odisha, this is the time for them. And I think that's why you see, and the Prime Minister has actually spent quite a few, you know, he's been there to Odisha now about 4 times this entire sort of last 5 months. So he has really spent a lot of time, and it's old school campaign in a sense. You know, I know that it's not easy anymore to campaign without getting personal, but here the campaign has been largely free of acrimony. They have criticized each other through the shadows, they've talked about each other's records, but never really gone for the jugular in the way the Prime Minister has done against the Gandhis or perhaps against the Thakres or even the Pawars. So there has been a little bit of shadow boxing, and many people think, especially the Congress, this is some sort of a fixed match, but I don't think so. I don't think so. The BJP is really looking to make inroads. I think it even believes it has a chance in the assembly election this time. We just have to see how this plays out, because as I told you, in this phase, 49 seats, the BJP, the NDA really has not much to grow, except for in Odisha and of course those 4 seats in Bengal. So this is really where the...
No, in this case, what happens is the like you said, shadow boxing, it's been more against the incumbent or the heir apparent rather than Naveen Babu himself. And the BJP is wanting to cash in on the flux because there are many within the BJD who are very upset. Long-timers, old-timers who've served and who've worked hard for the party sometimes feel cheated. Although Mr. Pandian, Zaka has interacted with him, he feels very confident that he will have the support of the people. And he may have South Indian roots, but he speaks Odia and he's applied his wares a lot.
Outsider tag applies to him as far as Odisha's public is concerned. I think it's the cadre. As I was saying,
the alignment within the cadre in terms of transfer of leadership, does he actually own it? Is he a people's person? He may have administrative caliber, but is he a people's neta? Is he a neta in the true sense is the question. We'll come to that existential aspect in just a bit and come back to these pictures of the Prime Minister's roadshow. Smita Prakash and Javed Ansari also with us. Namaste, good morning. Thank you for your patience. Just quickly going to Arun Dhanta and Amethi, and then I'll come across to you. Arun Dhanta, we did not have contact with you earlier. Now, if you can hear me, how's the voter turnout?
Well, Anand, right now I'm in Gauriganj, and you can see that people have already started queuing up to cast their votes here. Remember, 18 lakh voters are eligible this time around in Amethi Lok Sabha. And of course, Smriti Irani has been talking about the works that she has done in this constituency. Let's find out through the people what exactly happened. आप बताइए क्या इश्यूज हैं इस बार चुनाव में?
क्या सोच के वोट कर रहे हैं जी?
हम भैया कुछ नहीं जानते। हम दिमाग नहीं काट।
क्या इश्यूज है, किन मुद्दों को लेकर आप?
कोर्स विकास का इशू है। नो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हैज बीन इंक्रीज एक्चुअली एंड मोर अबाउट व्हाट एवर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वर रेज दैट हैव बीन क्लोज्ड आल्सो। IIT हैज गॉन समवेयर अवे and अस्पताल also victimized. Many victimized things were done and mainly विकास का मुद्दा है, सब बदलाव भी
विकास का मुद्दा है। आपके लिए क्या मुद्दा है, किन मुद्दों को लेकर आप वोट डाल रहे हैं?
विकास का मुद्दा।
क्या हुआ, क्या काम हुआ है, किस तरह काम हुआ है अमेठी में?
काम हुआ है, विकास मुद्दा है।
अच्छा, कुछ we have few women Anand also will try to speak to them as well. आप बताइए माता जी, क्या किन मुद्दों को लेकर आप लोग वोट डाल रही हैं? क्या
अच्छे के लिए।
अच्छा, क्या कुछ अच्छा हुआ है पिछले सालों में यहाँ पर?
अरे पिछले सालों के लिए बहुत अच्छा हुआ है।
और आगे क्या क्या चाहती हैं और क्या चीजें?
अरे क्या चाहती हैं, सब भविष्य बना है और सब जैसे है।
अच्छा, आप बताइए, आपके लिए क्या मुद्दा है माता जी?
हमारे लिए तो बहुत मुद्दा है। हाँ, हमारे लिए
अमेठी में काम वाम हुआ है?
हाँ, हुआ है।
किस तरह का काम? जैसे
अभी वो हमारे द्वारे खरंजा चाहिए।
अच्छा।
हाँ, सरकारी नलका चाहिए।
अच्छा।
और कॉलोनी वलोनी चाहिए। हम बहुत बचपन में हमारा आदमी खत्म हो गया था। तो सुविधा तो मुझे मिलना चाहिए। कभी आप रखोगे या कभी आप बाहर कर दो तो क्या करूँगा मैं?
अच्छा।
हाँ, ये सुविधा मुझे मिलना चाहिए।
तो राहुल गांधी इस बार चर्चा थी कि यहाँ से चुनाव लड़ेंगे, अब वो रायबरेली से लड़ रहे हैं।
हाँ।
राहुल गांधी लड़ते तो कैसा चुनाव होता?
अब राहुल गांधी लड़ते तो कैसा चुनाव होता है मुझे नहीं मालूम है। कुछ अब गरीबन के लिए कुछ मिल नहीं रहा है, अमीरन के लिए मिल रहा है वो सामान तो।
अच्छा, आप बताइए, आपके लिए क्या मुद्दे हैं?
सब कुछ सब ठीक है।
अच्छा।
हाँ, जो सबका है वही हम होगा।
जो सबका है वही हमका। विकास मुद्दा है। Point is that they when we speak to the voters on ground, especially in areas like Gauriganj etc, it's very simple, straightforward. अच्छे के लिए वोट कर रहे हैं, विकास के लिए वोट कर रहे हैं। कौन आया, कौन गया? There is a history, ladies and gentlemen. 1977, at a time of emergency, Sanjay Gandhi was the first to look at Amethi from the Gandhi family. He lost there, came back in the 80s. Then there was a lot of drama in 85 and 89 when Rajiv Gandhi and Menaka Gandhi were at loggerheads, or they were contesting against each other. The matter went to the courts with allegations of booth capturing and of course ill treatment of Menaka Gandhi in 85. 89, Rajmohan Gandhi, descendant of Mahatma Gandhi, went against Rajiv Gandhi and there were incidences there. Vidhan Sabha election, Sanjay Singh was shot. Amethi again. So there is a history there that's happened 2014, 2016, 2019 and of course 2022 and 2024. There is a lot that's happened in Amethi and Rae Bareli, known as the Gandhi bastions. The allegation from Smriti Irani is it has been dar ki rajniti more than dil ki rajniti, or dil ka rishta, dar ka rishta more than dil ka rishta. On ground, people believe that there was much more expected from, some of them believe much more expected from the likes of Smriti Irani. What she's been able to do in the last 10 years, could she have done more? She's built a house there to tell people that I'm not moving anyway from Gauriganj, I'm going to be here only, I'm living, going to be here, spending more time. What will work? We'll have to wait and watch. Smita Prakash, Javed Ansari with us as the Prime Minister's roadshow in Puri. Does it also become existential for a few who are in the poll fray in this phase, phase 5, be it in Maharashtra, be it in Uttar Pradesh, be it in Odisha? Smita Prakash.
Good morning to you and to the viewers of News 18, and like I always say when I come on your channel during election, सिर्फ इस channel पर सुनिए election ज्ञान, do your मतदान और फिर जलपान. So now 49 seats. I like the visuals that you're putting out there. Puri is very interesting with the Prime Minister campaigning for Sambit Patra. Many of us are familiar with him just because he's been a regular on TV channels and he's worked hard in that place. He's sat there, he's moved away from television debates for quite a few years now. He lost to Pinaki Mishra last time. This time Pinaki didn't get a seat and then didn't get a ticket, sorry. And then you saw that the Congress candidate pulled out. So from a triangular contest, it became a bipolar contest. Puri very important to the BJD. They've done the corridor, the temple corridor, similar to what happened in Kashi. So it's very close to Naveen Babu. For him, it's important that the people of Puri put their faith again in him. But Puri goes beyond just electoral battles. It's a historic town, and both the BJP and the BJD would like to win from here. And it's, as you quite rightly put, it's an existential crisis also for the BJD, because you have this juggernaut, and I'm using the word very carefully when I say juggernaut and Odisha. You have that rolling of the BJP down the streets of Odisha. The Naveen Babu would like to break all records and get voted again to power. And Pandian, who you called an outsider, and Rahul said that not so much an outsider. The thing is that he's a very reticent bureaucrat, and for him to get out of that shell and become a politician hasn't been very easy. He's tried, but you know, the shadow that Patnaik casts is so large that anybody would fall short when it comes to it. So he's very much in the Guru Shishya mold, where he's asking for votes on behalf of Naveen Babu. Naveen Babu, I feel, is somewhat like in 2004 what Mr. Vajpayee was. Much loved, but there is a sense among the people that he may not be that aggressive doer, that aggressive person that is needed to pull the state out from a developing and slow-moving economy to be out there right up front. They need a lot of development in that state. Udiyas, by and large, are kind of quieter, softer, kinder, gentler people. They don't want to punish Naveen Babu. They adore him. He's very popular. But there's also a realization that 5 more years is not probably what we're going to get from Naveen Babu. It will be Mr. Pandian halfway through.
So will that have an impact? We'll have to wait and watch. Existential in Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. We'll come to that in just a bit. But Javed Ansari, your thoughts on 49 seats in phase 5, and where do you believe the BJP will have to perhaps defend more, or do you see a chance for them in Odisha?
Well, it's obvious that the BJP has to defend most of this. It won 13 seats last time. Barring Rae Bareli, it won all the seats that are going to poll in UP. So it's very important for them to do as well as they did the last time around. As far as Odisha is concerned, I do believe that what we are witnessing is perhaps the last of Mr. Naveen Patnaik's reign there. Naveen Patnaik's health is not what it used to be, and he's really laboring hard. He doesn't step out. He's finding it difficult. Most of his campaigning is now done through that limousine of his. He will. Ground reports seem to suggest that he will certainly do a lot better in the assembly elections than in the Lok Sabha elections. In the Lok Sabha elections, it's the BJP that will make the gains. And Sambit Patra, I must say, has changed. And it's been, he realized the last time around that you can't parachute and then suddenly expect, just because you appear on TV, that people will start voting for you. So he spent the last 5 years, he's done the hard yards. He's put in the hard yards, and he's hoping to reap the dividends this time. And it's remarkable how things have changed in Odisha. I used to know Naveen Babu's father, Biju Patnaik, very well, and what a personality he was. Yes. I mean, he was a doyen. He was an icon, but he never enjoyed the kind of success that Naveen Babu had done. And at that time, I mean, if you ask somebody, or if you even mention the fact that he is going to be the political legatee, he is going to inherit the political legacy of his father, people would have laughed you off the table. But look how Naveen has transformed himself, and he's now proved to be perhaps the most successful and long-lasting chief minister that Odisha has had. His father never won so many consecutive terms. He used to, off and on. But if you, as personalities go, they are as different as chalk and cheese. But look at the kind of success. If we were betting people, none of us in the beginning would have bet on Naveen outdoing his father, but he's done it.
Correct.
I don't know much about Mr. Pandian. And we'll have to wait
that's
and see.
That's why many believe that if Naveen Babu could, then why can't Pandyan? So that's another question, but that also will take time. Because the political scenarios, situations on ground are far different than what they were at the time when Naveen Babu came and he parachuted literally into the seat and replaced Biju Patnaik there. But what he achieved for himself is credible, like you said, Javed sir. But the fact is that can Pandyan do the same? Coming back to this existential aspect, and I'm just going to bring it into the studio with Zaka and Rahul and then take it forward with the two of you. The aspect is BJD in Odisha, with the Trinamool Congress in Bengal, Lok Sabha wise, and also their national narrative.
Right.
Uddhav Thackeray, Sharad Pawar, and of course, if we look at the Congress in Uttar Pradesh. Is this an existential phase for all of them? Is this very, very important?
Well,
especially when we look at Mumbai today. I'm bringing it the focus to...
When it comes to Mr. Patnaik and the BJD, I wouldn't call it an existential crisis. I think it's a little early to say that it's going to just go off the map unless there is something really churning in the state. I think it is a point of inflection. It's an inflection point. It's a point where obviously Mr. Patnaik has decided to go with Mr. Pandyan as his successor. Can he galvanize the party and the cadre around Mr. Pandyan? That really is the challenge here. In any succession, you have to ensure that the road is paved for your successor. Has he been able to do this? Is blood at the end of the day thicker than water when it comes to the BJD's electors? Do they see, would they have seen perhaps, would they have gone along with another Patnaik perhaps? That is the question that we have to begin to ask ourselves when it comes to the BJD. I think it's just a matter of finding the right person to carry that baton forward. So let's just park that aside. But yes, very importantly for the UBT Sena in Maharashtra, it is very much an existential crisis because this election determines who the people believe are the real legatees of the ideology on which the Shiv Sena was built, which is Bal Thackeray, and has the cadre transitioned from that sort of very Hindutva straitjacket to the more inclusive liberalism that is championed by Thackeray Jr., which is Uddhav Thackeray. That is the importance. So again, here...
I think one of the other important things, you went to Maharashtra, I don't know how much you picked this up on ground, that in some pockets, some of the older Sena voters, Uddhav does still retain a degree of sympathy. If in any phase we're going to see that sympathy play out, it's going to be in this phase. It's Mumbai, the 6 seats. It's really more than BJP versus Uddhav Sena. It is really Uddhav Sena versus Shinde Sena. Out of
4
the
seats.
Out of the 6 seats, I think in 4 seats, it's a direct fight between Shinde Sena and Uddhav Sena. And I think really the winners in those seats will really determine, as Rahul said, the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray. Who has, is it the Thackeray name or is it Mr. Shinde and you know, his ilk who carry forward the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray? I really think whether it's Mumbai South, whether it's South Central. South Central is again a fantastic fight. It's again between Rahul Shewale and Anil Desai. I can't think of a more prestige battle for Shiv Sena and the future of Shiv Sena. Similarly with Bombay South. I mean, Bombay South is the most prestigious seat.
Arvind Sawant.
Arvind Sawant versus Yamini Jadhav. Again, it's Sena versus Sena. So this, at least the Mumbai seats, the 6 Mumbai seats plus Kalyan, and Kalyan, of course, is the Chief Minister's son's seat. He, of course, is seeking a second term from there, Shrikant Shinde. Again, very, very prestige battle. So if Uddhav Thackeray has to, at the end of this election, say that, look, I am the inheritor of my father's legacy, he has to beat the Shinde Sena candidates in these 6 seats plus Kalyan.
So that's nothing in it really. From a vote share point of view, it's a very tight sort of even Stevens fight there. The problem here is about identification. And the SSUBT, the Uddhav Thackeray has two seats there. So they're really going to want to, prove.
In fact, last time around, I think out of the 6.
In 8 months, there's going to be the assembly
election.
So I think, that really sets the tone for a huge...
You also have the Mumbai BMC elections which have been held in abeyance because the matter is sub judice and the courts have held it back. But the BMC elections could also be announced very soon, and what happens in Mumbai becomes very important. Smita Prakash, Javed Ansari, earlier I was saying it's about betrayal versus betrayal. Whose betrayal was greater? Did Uddhav Thackeray betray Bala Sahab's mandate and the Mahayuti and the voters' mandate and betray the ideology, core ideology? Was that betrayal greater, or Eknath Shinde betraying Uddhav Thackeray, is that betrayal greater? Smita Prakash. Do you agree if we say it is betrayal versus betrayal, and which betrayal sits with the sentiment of the voter?
This is the first time that it will be put to test, Anand, in Maharashtra as to which is the larger betrayal and which one gets the sympathy vote, if at all. And does sympathy translate into vote? Because ever since the split happened in the Shiv Sena, there's been no testing. Like there's no BMC election which happened, which would give an indication, or any other election which would have happened at the ground level, which would have given an indication.
So there were
that,
panchayat
okay,
elections. There were some
Sena.
panchayat
That has
elections
not
and some
happened.
council
So,
elections where the
a lot
Shinde
of
Sena
it-
did well. There were some panchayat elections and there were some council elections in some of the areas where the Shinde Sena did gain some ground.
The Shinde, again, as I'm saying, that BMC is the biggest test. And the BMC election did not happen because, and also on the ground, I think what you're going to see is, I think somebody mentioned about existential crisis in the show. And I think, yes, the regionals, including the Senas, the two Senas, the NCPs, the two NCPs in Maharashtra are having an existential crisis. You've also already seen Sharad Pawar saying that, okay, we should, all regionals should merge with the Congress. So that's a real existential crisis even before the Maharashtra elections were over. Then you saw how you had Prime Minister sharing this stage with the what's his name, Raj Thackeray.
Raj Thackeray, yeah.
That sends out a very, very strong message when he's out there, and Raj Thackeray endorsing Prime Minister Modi. So you have those things playing out. You had in the NCP, you had Supriya Sule on the day of polling going and visiting her aunt, Ajit Pawar's mom. So these are complicated things which are playing out, and it's going to, and you're showing BJT, that's also a kind of existential crisis. You're also seeing in Uttar Pradesh today, Sapa and Baspa, both of them, Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh finding out whether he matters at all in the state, because then when the state elections, some of them are saying he's holding his guns for the state elections. But you saw huge crowds yesterday in Phulpur, which could indicate either way. The BSP sending out mixed signals. Mayawati on the one hand saying that, asking her people don't vote for the Samajwadi Party, but today just before polling she says that there is a mood for change. JDS in Karnataka, again an existential crisis. Are they going to subsume within the BJP? TMC, BRS in Telangana, existential crisis there. People are saying not more than 1 or 2 seats. That's it. TMC wants to win desperately, and you're seeing literally violence on the streets, which you're not even seeing in Kashmir, happening in TMC. And that's an existential crisis, if at all.
Bengal poll violence is usually normalized, but her attacking traditional core Hindu institutions which find their roots in old Bengal itself. The Gaudiya Sampradaya, that is ISKCON, that draws its roots from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is again from Bengal. The Ramakrishna Mission finds its roots in Bengal, and Mamata Banerjee has openly attacked these institutions, and that itself is a departure. And what does that symbolically, or what does that messaging, is a big question. Javed ji, your thoughts on Uddhav Thackeray and this entire betrayal aspect? Will sentiment matter, or perhaps who's among the people who's actually working, or as a voter discerning enough on ground, Javed?
Look, if you talk to people, and if you just go back to what Chhagan Bhujbal said recently, Chhagan Bhujbal has split from the NCP. He's now in the Ajit Pawar faction. He believes that both Uddhav and Sharad Pawar will gain. Or at least as far as sympathies go, the people's sympathy is with them. They're generating a lot of sympathy on account of what has happened in the past few months. Chhagan Bhujbal ought to know that he's very grounded. Apart from a lot of other things, a lot of the other hats that he wears, he's also very grounded. So it's not just a question of the survival existential crisis for UBT, but also for Eknath Shinde. Similarly for Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar. Just for argument's sake, what if if Supriya Sule were to lose Baramati? That would be a huge body blow to Sina Pawar side.
Yeah.
What if the Pawar faction of the NCP really does well? Then what happens to Mr. Ajit Pawar's politics, and what happens? Because he's been waiting in the wings, and he believes that what ought to have been rightfully his uncle just continued for as long as he has done, and therefore stymied his chances. So it's not, and I don't agree that there's an existential crisis. I don't agree with you when you say there's an existential crisis for TMC.
Right.
TMC may or may not win the number of seats it did last time. Maybe BJP may or may not do better. Even if the BJP, for argument's sake, does better, TMC is won't collapse like the Congress, like the manner in which the Congress has collapsed in Uttar Pradesh. TMC won't, because Mamata Banerjee, one may or may not like her. Yeah, there's much that Mamata Banerjee can be criticized for, but she's a fighter. She's fought all the way. Look at the way she braved the odds against the CPM and the left there, and she's come up the hard way.
So yes. I think there's an interesting sort of parallel, if you will. I agree with Javed Ansari. I don't think TMC will fold up as a party, even if, let's say, BJP gets more MP seats in Bengal than TMC does. What it will create problems for, though, is this whole leadership transition in the TMC itself. With this whole thing about transferring the leadership from Mamata Banerjee to Abhishek Banerjee. And the parallel, again, is with the BJD. Of course, there's no blood relation really between Mr. Naveen Patnaik and Mr. Pandian, and of course this whole outsider tag, we'll have to wait and see. I in fact asked Mr. Pandian this in our Rising Bharat event a couple of months ago about this. I mean, the only example, perhaps the most famous example I can think of an outsider who made it big in the politics of another state was that of MGR, and incidentally Mr. Pandian is from that same state and from that same place where MGR sort of built his political roots, the Madurai belt. And he said that, look, as far as I'm concerned and as far as the people of Odisha are concerned, I am one of them. I speak their language. I've worked with them for the last 20 years. I'm married into Odisha. His wife is also a bureaucrat who's been serving the state for the last many years. So he doesn't consider himself an outsider. I think what this will also signal, if of course the BJD does well, is that the party itself, are there other claimants to the legacy? Are there other claimants to the leadership? If the BJD were to do badly, whether it is in the Lok Sabha or even in the Assembly, then the knives will be out. Right. But if the BJD were to win the Assembly, and all the way, by the way, we were talking about Naveen Patnaik's legacy some time ago. I think if he were to win again, and by August of this year, he will cross Jyoti Basu as the longest serving Chief Minister in the history of India. I don't think that is something anybody would have said about him 20 years ago when he made the political plot.
Absolutely. And nobody had even given him a chance, even of one term. So what he's done for himself is commendable. But Zaka, here's the challenge for Mr. Pandian, and not taking away from his ability. MGR was a mass leader because he was a film star. Of course. He had public, and he plied his wares in Tamil Nadu for many decades before he entered the political foray. And he knew how to work with the masses. So there was a mass appeal already. With Mr. Pandian, he has administrative capability, but as Smita Prakash was saying, he's quite reticent. So that transition to becoming a neta, that's where the challenge will be for Mr. Pandian, because he will have to come out into the fore and transform into a neta per se. Both Javed Ansari and Smita Prakash have their hand up. Quick comments and then we'll take a break. Yes, Smita Prakash.
Yeah, so Naveen Patnaik has already beaten Jyoti Basu. He has to beat Chamling. That is the thing, the change that will happen. And as far as Pandian is concerned, when you say that Pandian is this outsider who might become a chief minister, we've had outsiders or people born outside the state who have become chief ministers in the past. So he won't be the first one to do that. MGR, as you mentioned, was not born. Jayalalitha was not born. MGR, in fact, is born in Kandy, Sri Lanka. Jayalalitha was born in Mysore. She wasn't born there. And there have been other chief ministers also who were not born. Kamal Nath was not born in Madhya Pradesh. There was Sucheta Kriplani, the first chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, if my memory serves right. She was not born. Sheila Dikshit was not born in Delhi. Arvind Kejriwal, chief minister of Delhi, was not born in Delhi. He was born in Haryana. So there have been instances, but of course you've not had a Tamil speaking person who has been chief minister anywhere else. So that will be a radical change that that will happen if he does. And as far as him facing kind of rebellion, even if BJD wins, there is a sense of disgruntlement. It's all about that Odia pride, Odia Smita that everybody talks about, and that's the one that BJP is playing up.
So you believe that the outsider aspect and that card of a non-Odia speaking person
No, he speaks Odia.
In sense,
fact, he speaks very fluently.
Yeah, I know. When I say,
in fact, it's the opposite.
When I say that born a Tamil and not an Odia born.
As I was saying,
that
I think
aspect,
it's not
she's
really
saying it's
about,
a factor. Others are saying it's not a factor.
I don't think the public so much is sort of connecting with that as much as the cadre needs to sort of get rid of
at the end of the day,
apprehensions.
at the end of the day, that's a challenge that I hope Mr. Pandian and Zaka, you had that conversation with him. He accepts that he will have to transform into a Neta, and there is a road ahead. There is a learning curve for him
acceptability in any transition is something that person has to negotiate for himself.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Quick comment from Javed Ansari. Yes, we've got some disturbing news about the Iranian president. We'll take that up in a bit. Yes.
Yeah. So we were talking of existential crisis. The one party that is really facing a battle for survival is Mayawati's BSP. Look what they've been reduced to, from kingmakers and queenmakers. She's just about an also ran. She can't decide whether she is with the government or against it, whether she's voting for, she wants a change or she wants the status quo to continue. She anointed her nephew, clearly declared that he'll inherit a political legacy. That guy went and blew his top, and the very next day he was changed. She suddenly discovered that he's not mature enough to take on the leadership, and she's replaced him. So Mayawati is the one which is really, Mayawati did, even the Congress did a bit better than Mayawati in UP, which is, like climbing Mount Everest. So Mayawati has a lot to think about and a lot to worry about, because a lot of her vote has already lifted. It's only the Jataf chunk which is with her. And her diktats are also now weakening.
Interesting point. So more than Uddhav Thackeray or Sharad Pawar, the question will be for Mayawati. And since power center in Uttar Pradesh is Lucknow, Brijesh Pathak has just come to cast his vote. Siddhant Mishra is right there. And we also have some disturbing news about the Iranian president, there was a helicopter crash that happened. It was a hard landing. Now we are given to understand that President Raisi has been confirmed dead. We'll get you more details after a very short break. Stay with us. Factionalism. The split in the Shiv Sena and the NCP could cause confusion. Will the voter be true to cadre loyalty, local leader and ideology, or will there be this family bloodline loyalty conversation which will be an impact? First test for Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde after switching loyalty. Can they be leaders? Will they be able to exercise the authority they always felt they had? Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar could capitalize on the emotional aspect, sentiment. Dhoka diya mujhe is what both of them are going and saying on ground. My own betrayed me. That's what the betrayal aspect, and the Maratha sentiment, if it swings and believes that someone has been betrayed, so no matter how wrong they are, will they go and vote for them, or will they say, you are the one who betrayed the original ideologies, you are the one who betrayed the voter, you are the one who betrayed my mandate? Will they remember that? That's the big question. And these are aspects which will come into play. Also, BJP believes sympathy for them over the MVA alliance. So that's the original betrayal that's being claimed, ladies and gentlemen. But is that in the distant past? Is the latest betrayal what's going to stay? This is betrayal versus betrayal story which is being talked about on ground. And of course, infrastructure. Big boost from big ticket projects which will come to the fore. They have shown the Vikas story there. Although the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena will in Mumbai claim that most of these projects have been initiated by them, completed by them. But Devendra Fadnavis said it was actioned and put into play with me. And we would have only continued it had you not given me dhoka. So this is the conversation which is happening on ground. The story of taking Maharashtra to making it a 1 trillion economy, the first state in Bharat to become a 1 trillion economy. So who is taking it towards the Bimaru state and who is taking it towards 1 trillion economy? Who's bringing investments and who is pushing away investments? These are all questions. 50% cap, a hurdle for reservation for Marathas. This Maratha reservation aspect, everybody has voiced it, but then they blame the courts for halting it or stopping it. Now, will this come into play on ground? We'll have to wait and watch. BJP on the back foot, as many groups are also feeling let down with respect to the Maratha quota. Now, how much of this will come into play is the big question, Rahul Shankar, the Maratha quota aspect, because Devendra Fadnavis has backed it, but it was the courts that shot it down. Now, this game of trying to play one versus other, and Shiv Sena and Sharad Pawar has always played this 3M combination.
Well,
historically.
Sorry to be a bit of a party pooper here, Anand, but I think this is really a clash of personalities. It's Modi. This is a vote for Modi and his guarantees. Can Modi inspire Maharashtra to turn up and vote for the BJP, for the NDA again? And let me just very quickly tell you that in Maharashtra, the combined new NDA, so to speak, has 11 out of 13 seats. Lot to defend here. The BJP itself is very strongly placed in Maharashtra.
I'm interrupting you right now because you go talk to the pictures a bit, Rahul. You talked about PM Modi's personality and he is at Puri Jagannath.
There you go. So, the Prime Minister is a great past master at choreography. So, here he is again. Now, this is very important. This religiosity is going to play out in Uttar Pradesh fantastically right now on the ground. This is the reason. Why? Because it is that entire area around Ayodhya, Lucknow, all those seats that are going to polls, and Hindutva, the Ram card is on test tonight. Though, of course, Jagannath Puri has a significance of its own. Odisha also has elections going on there. So, look, competitive religiosity, there is no better at the Prime Minister than executing it. But coming back to Maharashtra, which is really where the election is right now.
Puri Jagannath will also have an impact in Mumbai. Because who's carrying forth the Hindutva flag? The religiosity aspect will also come into play here.
Absolutely. It's all very well choreographed. You know, you can take the strand and fit it anywhere today. But let me just tell you, Anand, you were spot on when you said that, look, at the end of the day, it's going to be about a test of loyalties. Who is going to stand with whom? Who do they think was the greater betrayer to the mandate? That is what really this is about. And many people...
Back on with some disturbing news coming in from Iran. President Ibrahim Raisi has been confirmed dead by the Iranian administration and authorities after prolonged search and because of inclement weather, rescue operations were delayed. Multiple attempts at landing were also thwarted at that crash site. No survivors have been found at the crash site of the helicopter carrying Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi. At least 73 rescue teams were in the area of the helicopter crash near the village of Tabal in Iran's East Azerbaijan province. 9 people were on board the helicopter, including the nation's foreign minister. So we're given to understand all aboard. Let's try and get that confirmation from Abhishek Jha. Abhishek, so are all aboard confirmed dead? Because the last reports I was tracking said that the emergency call or the Mayday call was also received from someone who was part of that flight.
Well, Anand, it has been almost 15 to 16 hours since the crash was reported and the search and rescue teams tried to reach to that mountainous terrain, which was very tough to access. And even if some survivor had their phones switched on, and that probably sent the signal to the central command, leading to search teams to reach to the site. Probability of him surviving in this harsh, inclement weather is very less. It's about 10 degrees Celsius in the temperature is. It's a snowy, it's a very foggy condition. Highly unlikely that any survivor would be there in the helicopter crash. We have seen the footages that shows the wreckage has been completely burned. It is spread across a vast area. It is completely dismantled, and it is also sitting on top of some mountains. So reaching there is also very difficult, and finding sign of any survivor after about 15 to 16 hours of crash is highly unlikely. This is what the Red Crescent, which has been involved in the rescue and search operation, has told us, that survivors' sign are highly unlikely. There are hope that maybe some have had some phones switched on, or the signals that they probably sent even few hours earlier. Also, the search team said that some signals are coming from the rescue from the side where the helicopter crash has happened. But now it is being confirmed by
Have they recovered any bodies? 73 rescue teams there. Quickly understanding, Abhishek, has there been any confirmation of any bodies received? The Iranian foreign minister was also on board that flight, along with the President Raisi.
Well, Anand, a government confirmation or government press statement on the entire search operation and whether any survivors are there is still to come. But the search team have almost reached to the site where they have found no sign of any survivors. So that is believed that all the nine passengers on board, including President Raisi, Foreign Minister Omar Abdullah, and the governor of the state where the plane has crashed, have all been dead.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for that update. Disturbing news. That means that the Vice President takes charge immediately, and within 50 days, Iran will have to elect a new president. We'll get you more details along with the focus returning to Battle for Bharat when we come back. Stay with us.
That the bellwether state this time in Maharashtra, I'm not so sure statistically if you can extrapolate and say that Maharashtra has been an all-time bellwether state, but certainly this election, Maharashtra holds the key to the BJP's fortunes. Its dominance there to the NDA's fortune. Its dominance there was for all to see. It had, out of those 48 seats, the second largest bloc that goes to the Lok Sabha, friends, 39 of those seats were with the NDA last time. It's a huge chunk. It's a huge chunk from one state. I mean, you can pretty much settle this election between Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. If you have those two working for you, you have a little bit of the Hindi heartland, you're almost the halfway point.
See, in the sense, despite the NDA splitting, the BJP held a certain number of seats. If the BJP holds its seats, and there are some gains out of the 15 that had there, and plus 3, 18 that have been given to their allies within the NDA, Shiv Sena Shinde, and of course Ajit Pawar's NCP, plus some of the others. I'm just saying, is it a greater test for Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray?
That's what I've been saying from day one.
If they are not able to make a dent,
this is a make or break election for Uddhav Thackeray. It is a make and break election for the Sharad Pawar faction. Look, Ajit Pawar has many races left. He is at the end of the day the organizational man at the Baramati level. Let's not forget that. The organization spins and revolves around him. But let me just give you an idea of how critical this phase really is. Look at Maharashtra, 11 out of 13 for the NDA. Uttar Pradesh, 13 out of 14. There are no room really to make gains, okay? Let's assume that Rae Bareli continues to vote for the Congress. So that 13 out of 14, they'll have to hang on to 13 out of 14. Bihar, 5 out of 5. JDU, in fact, had one seat here. The LKSP had one. Now, that Paswan seat is also very important because many people are saying this time in Bihar, BJP is carrying forward, but the allies may get chewed up by the RJD. We don't know. The jury is out on that one. Jharkhand, 3 out of 3. You can't grow possibly in Jharkhand. Odisha, 3 out of 5. Can you make it 5 out of 5? There's room for growth there. Statistically, West Bengal 3 out of 7, 3 out of 4, 3-4 it was. The TMC at 4. It's a very interesting election for the TMC this time. Because if it has to prove that it can still carry the Hindu vote, this is the phase where it has to prove it.
No, but the fact is that with just ahead of the phase, Mamata Banerjee's comments, will they help her or hurt her?
And remember, the CA card has been pulled out of the sleeve, my friend. It's there now. The guarantee is there. I told you, I will make you citizens. So, you know, you're absolutely right. This is a fundamental, real make or break.
But in that arithmetic of 32 out of 49, if you were to see, there are 17 seats where they still have an opportunity. The NDA and the BJP.
39 out of 48. 49.
39 NDA, but the BJP has 32 out of 49. 32. So if it is 39 out of 49, there are 10 seats where they still have to max out. My point is...
So those seats are the Congress 1 Rae Bareli, SS UBT 2, TMC 4. Those are the 7 or 8 seats there, and of course 2 of BJD. So
that's what. So they will have to pull seats from UBT. They'll have to pull seats from Trinamool Congress. They will have to pull seats from Naveen Babu. BJD. So these are the 3 seats, 3 parties they will have to be, and with each one of them, there is a narrative that will be set. Because in Bengal, if they want to do better than 18 last time, they will have to pull seats away from the TMC while retaining their seats. Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena or Uddhav Thackeray's party or the Mashal party they will have to tell them that they don't have the legacy. The legacy lies with the ideology and not with the surname.
I mean, look, it's a tall order. 17 after today, just to put this larger phase into perspective, after today, 79%.
नीचे हो, आपके बैंक अकाउंट में 8,500 रुपया महीने का खटाखट 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 आता रहेगा।
महलों में पैदा होने वाले कहते हैं देश का विकास अपने आप होगा, और कहते क्या है, विकास कैसे होगा? बोले खटाखट खटाखट।
कांग्रेस में तो पताका हाथ लगाकर दिखा दे, ईंट से ईंट ना बजा दी तो हम भी अमेठी वाले हैं।
यहाँ एक भाजपा की प्रत्याशी आई जो आज आपकी सांसद है, और उन्होंने काफी झूठ फैलाए।
विश्वासघात उद्धव ठाकरे जी ने मोदी जी के साथ, देवेंद्र फडणवीस के साथ।
Modi has been saved by Balasaheb Thackeray. So because of him, he is there today.
আমরা সরকার তৈরি করব, আমরা জোটে থাকবো, জোটে আছি আমরা।
अभी ये लोग तो ये सब बोलेंगे, देख के लोग थोड़ा सा लग रहा है मोदी जी को देख।
Under 9 hours for Bharat to go and vote across the 49 seats that are going to the ballot across 7 states and 1 union territory. Ladies and gentlemen, go vote is the campaign here at CNN News 18, and all we are going to request you is to go ahead and exercise your franchise, especially those in Mumbai, in Maharashtra and some of the urban pockets which have largely returned poor numbers when it comes to vote. And if you have not cast your ballot, then don't crib. That's something we say consistently here. Exercise your ballot. Go ahead, irrespective of who you vote for, who you support. Go ahead and cast your ballot, and then use your fingers to go ahead and crib through the rest of the 4-5 years. Otherwise, then you should not have the right to go ahead and crib if you're not casting your ballot. It's important. Let's try and understand why these 49 seats compared to phase 1, 2, 3, the number of seats that are going to the ballot are lesser, but the spread is more. And with this, nearly 23 states and union territories will finish after phase 5, would have finished going through the motions of electing the government at the center. And we'll end up towards the business end. 49 seats in phase 5 out of the 7 folds, 6 and 7 only left after this. But if you look at it, 695 candidates compared to more than 1,000 candidates in the previous phases. This is only 695 candidates. The BJP is playing defense in 32 out of 49. The NDA defending 39 out of 49. So largely defense, less attacking. 10 union ministers are testing their mettle, going for a repeat mandate, including the likes of Rajnath Singh and Smriti Irani in the phase, Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti in Uttar Pradesh. Many, 22 seats in the Hindi heartland, including 14 in Uttar Pradesh, of which 13 are with the NDA. And there you go, Uttar Pradesh is 14 seats, 13 with the NDA. Rae Bareli, will the Congress defend it? Rahul Gandhi's late entry, will it have an effect? We'll have to wait and watch. Can he retain Rae Bareli? Or will Dinesh Pratap Singh, has he done enough to persevere on the voter, prevail on the voter? Prestige battle in 6 Mumbai seats. And that's the big story. In Maharashtra, who gets the legacy? Who is the betrayer? Who is working hard? Who has stayed true to the ideology? And Modi's Vikas Mantra with PM Modi on the ticket and Modi ki guarantee, how much does that prevail? Neck to neck in the 7 Bengal seats. Here is where the Trinamool is defending more, and the BJP will look to be more aggressive, ladies and gentlemen. We'll come to Bengal, but first, with Rahul Shivshankar and Zakir Jacob in the studio, Smita Prakash and Javed Ansari and other guests joining us, and with our reporters on ground, let's turn the focus towards Maharashtra. On the magic wall with Zakir Jacob, the big Maharashtra test, including Mumbai, Zakir.
Absolutely. All 6 seats of Mumbai go to polls today. It's a prestige battle, like we were discussing in the last hour. It's about who has the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray. This is a phase where more than it's, BJP US's Shiv Sena, it is really between Shinde Sena and Sena UBT that of Uddhav Thackeray. Let's go south to north. Prestigious South Mumbai seat. Arvind Sawant is the sitting MP. Of course, he's from the Sena UBT. He's taking on Yamini Jadhav, who was also from the Shiv Sena. She's from the Shinde Sena. She's used to be a corporator. There's some allegations of ED cases against her and her husband. It was a late declaration by the Shinde Sena. Her candidature was announced just a few weeks leading up to the election. So that's going to be a very prestige battle in South Mumbai. Then you have the neighbouring constituency, Mumbai South Central. Rahul Shewale won it the last time. Again, in a United Sena ticket. This time, he's taking on Anil Desai. Anil Desai, Subhash Desai, of course, used to be former ministers in the Uddhav Thackeray government. Very, very prestige battle. I think South Central is also the constituency that houses Matushri and, the Thackeray household, as it were. Then you have the North Central seat. Again, very, very interesting fight. Poonam Mahajan was the sitting MP. She was changed at the last minute. Mr. Ujjwal Nikam, former public prosecutor, tried the Mumbai 2611 cases, other famous cases in Mumbai. He was drafted in by the BJP. Again, at the very last minute, he's taking on Varsha Gaikwad, who used to be a minister in the former government. So again, a prestige battle in North Central seat. And then you have the Northwest seat, where again, very interesting. Gajanan Kirtikar used to be with the United Sena. Now his son Amol Kirtikar is fighting from that seat. That's the seat that Sanjay Nirupam had a problem with. He said Amol Kirtikar should not have gotten that ticket. Amol Kirtikar, of course, now with the Shinde Sena. And then you have the Mumbai North seat, which is a prestige battle because Union Minister Piyush Goyal is contesting his first Lok Sabha election from here. He's up against the relatively lesser known Bhushan Patil of the Congress party. So that's a BJP versus Congress direct fight. And then you, of course, have the prestigious constituency, prestigious because the Chief Minister's son is the sitting MP there. He's fighting for a second term, Shrikant Shinde. This is the Kalyan seat. So the 6+2, which is Kalyan and Thane, so 8 seats of the greater Mumbai region. In the 6 seats of Mumbai city, last time BJP had 3, United Sena had 3. This time, in 3 of those seats, at least in 3 of those seats, it's a direct Sena versus Sena battle. And Vinay Deshpande is now joining us from Dadar, which is the heartland of the Thackeray land, as it were. Why is this battle for Mumbai this time around such a battle for legacy, such a prestige battle? Whoever wins in this fight, in this direct Sena versus Sena contest, how may this shape going forward, the future of both the Senas, and especially as it leads up into the assembly election 6 months down the line, Vinay?
Well, absolutely, Zakir. This is a prestige battle, as you rightly mentioned, not just within Mumbai, but the surrounding 2 seats as well. May it be Thane, may it be Kalyan, where Shrikant Shinde is defending for the 3rd time, and where Thane, where it is Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena versus Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena. But first, let me get you some voters' voices. I'm here in Dadar at Balmohan Vidya Mandir. This is where several celebrities vote as well. आप यहाँ पे ठाणे से आई हैं, क्यों?
हाँ, वोट डालने के लिए।
तो आज काफ़ी एक्साइटमेंट है, वरना हमको यहाँ पे इतनी भीड़ नहीं दिखती है बालमोहन में।
बहुत गर्दी रहता है। पहले से हम इधर ही थे, अभी 2-3 साल हो गए उधर रहने को गए। मेरा घर इधर ही है। फिर वोटिंग नहीं करने का है, इसलिए मैं सुबह जल्दी उठ के 8 बजे के ट्रेन से इधर आई।
That's nice. So at a time when we talk of lack of excitement among Mumbaikars to come out and vote, this lady who has relocated to Thane has taken a train to come down to Dadar to cast her vote. So this is the level of excitement here at Balmohan. Yes, definitely Mumbai South Central seat is something where all eyes are set, particularly because it's the first time where we will see a Sena versus Sena face-off. Remember, this is the same seat where we had seen that the Congress was quite keen to get the seat. Varsha Gaikwad, who's the Mumbai president of the Congress, had in fact even gone ahead and met Uddhav Thackeray to request him to leave the claim over this seat. But we have seen that Rahul Shewale Cheware, who's currently Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena MP from this place, and who's the incumbent MP, is defending against Anil Desai, who is being pitted against him by Uddhav Thackeray. So it is a kind of a prestige battle where this has been a Sena as well as a Congress bastion alternating between the two parties. But this time on, we will have to see on which loyalty prevails really. Rahul Cheware, who has the backing of not just Eknath Shinde but also the BJP, which has put up its entire machinery behind him. Remember, several messages going across showing him in front of Modi's face, saying that Modi plus Dhanusha Ban is equals to Rahul Cheware. So please vote for Rahul Cheware. That kind of messaging is being put across not just in South Central but also South constituency, where the BJP is not very sure about whether its core voter will end up voting for either Rahul Cheware or for Yamini Jadhav. So that is the kind of tussle that's happening here right now. Back to you.
Well, thanks for that, Vinaya. Dadar, there are people travelling from outskirts of Mumbai, from Thane and all, to come back and to vote in Dadar. The voter turnout is steady. We had a lovely multi-window of film stars, celebrities who are coming out to vote. We'd like to see a nice multi-window, Mayuresh Ganpate, of also India Inc., the corporate head honchos, the business stalwarts, the top big businesses, the CEOs who reside in that region where you're joining us now from Altamount Road, who drive perhaps, and that's the reason why Mumbai is called the financial capital of our country. They should also be coming out in big numbers to vote. Is that happening?
Yes, it is happening. We can see that, and we are expecting that more people will come this side. As you said, that South Mumbai has always disappointed the election commission when it comes to the numbers, because South Mumbai is always vocal on the social media. South Mumbai people are always vocal when something happens in this particular region. But when it comes to the voting, the numbers suggest that they are not that good. But this time we are hoping, because from morning we are standing at this particular polling booth, where a lot of people are coming in a large number. Since morning we saw the RBI governor Shashikanta Das along with his family, who came here somewhere around 8 o'clock and casted the vote. But what is more interesting in this particular area or in this particular constituency is a battle of Shiv Sena versus Shiv Sena, because to establish the supremacy over South Mumbai, both the Shiv Senas are in fray. Eknath Shinde has pitted Yamini Jadhav, who is close confidant of Eknath Shinde, against the former Union Minister Arvind Sawant. And if we see the history or historical data, the candidate who has won this constituency or won from this particular constituency, and if their party forms the government or their alliance party forms the government at the center, that particular candidate has always got the cabinet ministerial berth. Whether it's Murli Devra, after that Chevanti Ben Mehta, then we saw Milind Devra, and then we had Arvind Sawant also. So now it would be interesting to see that what exactly South Mumbai people are going to vote and whom they are going to vote, whether they support Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Shiv Sena or whether they support Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena. Back to you.
Well, we'll have to see the voter turnout. What is the percentage? Is that better than the usual average of just around 40 to 43%, 45% in South Mumbai? Or does that improve, and does it hit the high 50s and 60s? That will be a story in itself. Yesha Kotak joining us from Bandra, Vishal Chatkara from Juhu in Mumbai. Yesha, whereabouts are you, and what's the voter turnout like at around 9 a.m. this morning?
So yes, Anand, we are here at the Mount Mary School. In fact, this is one of the places where Farhan Akhtar voted this morning. There are celebrities such as Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Rekha, who are expected here. In fact, speaking of the low voter turnout that we were, this constituency in the last election had a 50% turnout, which is where we are seeing that over the last 2 to 3 days, there is a social media campaign that's being run. In fact, it's being run by Mumbai Police as well, wherein they're collaborating with several celebrities who are urging people to come ahead and vote. Because Mumbai, like we see, has been a city wherein there's a low voter turnout. In fact, we have some first-time voters here. They are a part of this campaign, wherein they reached out to celebrities. They also reached out to the younger generation, the first-time voters, asking them to cast their vote. Tell us, what is your campaign exactly about, and how did you collaborate with these celebrities to come ahead and urge people to vote?
Okay, so we are from this organization called IIMUN, which stands for India's International Movement to Unite Nations. We are a non-profit youth-run organization which deals with the more sensitive age bracket, that is the youth from age 17 to 22. So since the elections were coming up, and as you mentioned, there is a low voter turnout in the country, and there were 96 crore people, 96 crore new people who were going to vote. So we decided to start this campaign and reach out to celebrities in order to amplify the message of voting and to amplify that voting is an individual's responsibility. And since we are the youth of the country, it's our responsibility to go and cast our first vote. So that was the motivation behind starting this campaign.
Which celebrities do you all collaborate with, asking younger generation to come ahead and vote?
So we have collaborated with many celebrities like Mr. Karan Johar, Mr. Anil Kapoor, Miss Vidya Balan, and many politicians and businessmen also like Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, and there are many more.
Right. So yes, Anand, these were some younger generation.
Well,
in
97
fact, like we earlier reported from South Mumbai.
Yes,
Yes, Anand.
thanks for that, Yesha. 97 crore voters overall, about 23 crore voters less than 30 years of age. The first time voter number is about 4.5 or 5 crore if my memory serves me right. But yes, it is important that people come out to vote, and that is critical. More importantly, Mumbai per se has not had a very heavy or a steady voter turnout, especially in the largely urban pockets. The semi-urban, the urban pockets in Mumbai have come out to vote, but the urban pockets and those who actually drive the opinion and the markets and decision making largely have disappointed in the past. Those pockets have disappointed.
One of the
Will they do
factors,
well?
and we saw this in Bangalore as well, their polling was on a Friday. Today's a Monday. So
Yes.
for most Mumbaikars, this could just be a long weekend. So you could ask our reporters, are they treating this like a long weekend, or are they actually in town and coming out and exercising their
Vishal
franchise?
Chatkara is in the thick of the action. Vishal, in Juhu, what's the voter turnout like? Because that has both all kinds of pockets, the urban pocket, the urban pocket, and also
some of the Bollywood actors like Akshay Kumar, Mahesh Bhatt, Pooja Bhatt. These are the people, they practice what they preach. They are some of the early voters. Janhvi Kapoor, although has to catch a flight, she came and cast her vote. Farhan Akhtar with her sister Zoya Akhtar and mom Hani Irani came. Swanand Kirkare, the lyricist, voted. Tabbu, Sania Malhotra, Rajkumar Rao are some of the early voters from Bollywood. Have to say, Hema Malini is expected anytime now here in Juhu. Bollywood, a lot of Bollywood stars often, appeal people to vote. And these are some of the names who actually practicing what they preach, and we can see how early they came and did their duty. For example, Tiger Shroff and Ajay Devgan, who were shooting in Kashmir over the weekend, are expected to come and vote, and they will be surely they are responsible citizens. So we can expect some of the big names from Bollywood come out in big numbers and vote later in the day. While the surprisingly, it's not a surprise, although, that Akshay Kumar was one of the early voters from Bollywood, because his day starts at 4 a.m.
Yes.
So yeah.
True. So the celebrities are coming out to vote. But at the end of the day, every vote is a number. It's a ballot. And that's what adds to the percentage. So your vote counts, and that's why go vote is what we are trying to say. Mumbai has to vote in big numbers. Thank you to all our reporters. Great job done. Hopefully it's not a hot day. There has been some rains, and that gives you some respite in terms of the weather as they are casting the ballot. The weather also plays a big factor. But let's bring it back into the studio at this time. Rahul Shivshankar, you had some points to make on Mumbai.
I just want to talk a little bit about the turnout in Maharashtra. I've been sort of reading up a little bit on it, and I was actually going to focus on this as the day sort of evolved, because phase 4 actually saw an 8.8% drop in turnout compared to 2019. So we are going into this phase with already sort of some amount of attenuation when it comes to voter interest.
Why do you think that is? Is it the heat? Is it complacency?
It's a very tough question to answer, Zach, because, at the end of the day, this is supposed to be really the one so-called bellwether state of this election. This is where there has been the maximum churn. One would have thought that each faction would have wanted to drive its voter out to come to the polling booth. And, both parties, the Shiv Sena, the BJP, and to some extent the NCP, are really cadre-based parties. So they have a very strong cadre. I can't say that about the Congress right now. Only in certain pockets, and revolves around personalities where the cadre remains very sort of in some way coet and consolidated. But in most other parts, you would have expected the vote to have come out. Now, in Baramati, for example, it's very interesting. The voter turnout went down by 2.1%.
Despite the high-profile fight.
Despite the high-profile contest. So how are you supposed to read voter interest and then sort of extrapolate it into the larger picture that we get animated about in our studios, or this is a fight to the finish, this is an existential crisis, the cadre will come out, so and so. When the voter itself seems to be a little disinterested.
When you say 8.8%, that means 1 out of every 10 voters, almost 1 out of every 10 voters who voted last time is not showing up.
Is not showing
up.
up.
For whatever reason, I mean, it's heat or disinterest, whatever it is. Let's also bring in the guests. Javed Ansari, R. Rajagopalan, Smita Prakash are all joining us. Mr. Rajagopalan, the fight for Mumbai, and particularly South Bombay, people talk about it. George Fernandes used to hold that seat sometime many years ago. Subramaniam Swamy was elected from that seat. Of course, Murli Deora held it for 3 terms, and then his son Milind Deora held that seat. This time around, again, it's a straight Sena versus Sena fight. Yamini Jadhav of the Sena Shinde faction, and of course, Arvind Sawant, who's the sitting MP of the Sena Uddhav Thackeray faction. Why has this become not just about this election or this seat? Why has this election in Mumbai, the 6 seats there, been almost like, and we've been using this word quite a bit since morning, almost existential for many of these factions and these parties?
Because it is financial capital, Jaka. Apart from that, I draw certain things with Rahul Shankar's, exponential explanation that why the drop. I feel, as a political correspondent, this Rahul Gandhi made it a lighter vein, cut. This type of thing, people don't like it. Voters don't like it. And moreover, on the other side also, giving 1 lakh rupees every month. This is the financial capital, Mumbai. They understand the financial system. And they think that Rahul Gandhi is wasting his energy and creating this type of atmosphere. Second thing, BJP also overblown it. Apki baar, 400 ki par. Voters thought that BJP is coming back. Why should we go and vote? This is the fatigue. And moreover, we have to understand on 5th of June why the voters turn out. But on the contrary, Jaga, women voters are more. Men voters are coming down. Second thing, my interesting aspect is, as Prime Minister just now gave an interview, no head or leg for the Congress poll campaign. That is also one reason. There is no systematic thing. BJP meticulously approached their voters, whereas Congress did not do. These are all certain factors. And being a financial capital, Mumbai should at least vote for 70 to 75%. Otherwise, it is Nakli versus Asali.
I think last time around it was under 50%, if I'm not mistaken. It was barely about 50%, or at least in South Bombay and stuff, it was less than 50%.
And there is another interesting development in all of this. If you analyze the turnout across gender, actually women voters, fewer women voters have turned out to vote.
Fewer women compared to men, or fewer women compared to women in 2019?
Compared to men. So there is also that. And there was a column in one of the newspapers that did an entire deep dive into the turnout so far. Gender specific also. Of course, we don't know the number of votes, the total number of votes polled. I think that the Supreme Court has now asked the EC to sort of come up with that data, which is important. So as far as vote share, turnout in percentage terms is concerned, women voters slightly trending lower than the men this time.
Lower than the men. Interesting numbers. There's pictures coming through from Amethi. Again, Uttar Pradesh becomes interesting. 14 out of the 80 seats are going to the ballot this time. 13 are with the NDA, 1 with the Congress or the INDA alliance. That's Rae Bareli. This is Smriti Irani, the Sansad from Amethi, casting her vote for the first time from Amethi. So she just did in February, she did the Grah Pravesh for her house in Gauriganj, right in the middle of the fields. There is some land that she has acquired, and that's where her residence is. And she has decided that this was a promise that she had made in 2019, that ahead of the next elections, I will be a resident of Amethi. So she's not somebody who's going to be a paratrooper anymore or parachuter anymore. She is going to be somebody who's a resident of Gauriganj, and she has her address. And as a voter, she's registered in Amethi. So Smriti Irani casting her vote from Amethi for the first time, standing in queue and then just going in. Arun Danta is in Amethi. We will try and go across to him if possible and see if Smriti Irani does speak to the media once she comes out of the polling booth, and about 100 meters away, if she does speak with the media, that will be waiting outside. There's been a lot of conversation, a lot of rumor mongering, a lot of accusations and counter accusations between who has done more for Amethi, and she has very simply said, look at the data, look at the delivery, look at what's been done in the last 10 years compared to 4 decades of the Gandhis being ruling the roost in Amethi and in Rae Bareli. Look at the change that we've brought. And That's what she believes. She believes that she should win by more than at least 1 lakh votes. Although on ground, many believe that it's going to be a very, very tight election. And how much of it will work, we'll have to see. It's all the voter of the constituencies, including Gauriganj, who will decide. Javed Ansari, Rajagopalanji, Smita Prakash also with us. Smita Prakash, your thoughts on Amethi, Smriti Irani showing the intent, building a residence there. She spent there for the last 3 months, ever since February. Her Greh Pravesh, she's not moved out of Amethi. She's been there largely coordinating everything from there. Compare that to KL Sharma being pit in Amethi against her. Someone who stands on stage and says, I'm proud to be just a humble servant or a knocker of the Gandhi family.
I think you were there last week, Anand, and so was I. We were covering in Amethi. I've been to Amethi for several elections now. This is the third time for Smriti Irani that I've covered. In the sense like I've covered her campaign. And I think there's a lot of difference. When she came in 2014, she was new. Nobody knew about her. And the people out there didn't even have satellite TV, so nobody knew about her television serial either. She was totally new. In 2019, she didn't have a home, you're right. She had rented a place above some shops, very dilapidated and very bare minimum, 2 little rooms, no electricity. I remember electricity was just about 2 hours in a day. Rest of the time there was a genset which was blowing. This time she has a house of her own. She's voting out there. People know who she is. So there's no doubt about that. In Amethi, there is Noora Kushti, which is going on, because even though you have Mr. Sharma out there, it is quite clear it is Priyanka Gandhi who's fighting the election from Amethi. Though, they've not announced Priyanka's name, but it is quite clear that it is Priyanka Gandhi versus Smriti Irani now. Why she didn't file on her nomination from Amethi? Why didn't she fight it openly against Smriti? I think it's also because the Gandhis are led a lot by their coterie, and there's this thing that the Gandhis should not lose the first election that they fight. So Priyanka has time on her hands. She can fight the election later. You can't really have Rahul Gandhi from Rae Bareli and Priyanka Gandhi from Amethi. So I don't know, this is, even though there is no old guard left in the Congress, there is still the remnants of the advice that the old guard gives the Gandhi family, and the Gandhi family defers to that kind of advice. So though Priyanka Gandhi has been campaigning actively in both Rae Bareli and Amethi, and it's totally her doing. Rahul has hardly been there in Rae Bareli. He's not been seen. There's no connect that he has with the people there. It's more with Amethi that he has. KL Sharma, I covered his rally out there, and I just feel that
she's speaking.
She's
speaking.
Nice,
Smriti Irani is speaking.
Gentleman.
Let's just go across to Amethi.
लोकतंत्र के पर्व पर सहभागी और सहयोगी होने वाले हर भारतीय को आज इस लोकतंत्र के उत्सव की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं सर्वप्रथम प्रेषित करती हूं। आज ये मेरा सौभाग्य है कि मैंने गौरीगंज में अपने गांव में विकसित भारत के संकल्प के साथ
We've just lost that feed. Let's let it all come in and then we'll play it out properly. Smita Prakash, who were making a point, 2019, it was just 20 days that she had. But even though she lost that election by more than 1 lakh votes, there was her claim was, okay, she's back. So let's play that out and then we come back to the history and of Amethi.
भारत और भारत के भविष्य के प्रति ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी है, इसका निर्वहन करें। मैं पुनः कहती हूँ, ये मेरा सौभाग्य है कि आज गौरीगंज में विकसित भारत के संकल्प के साथ गरीब कल्याण एवं महिला शक्ति को समर्पित एक नेता को, एक राष्ट्र सेवक को मैंने अपना मत दिया। अभिलाषी हूं कि जनता उनको अपना स्नेह और आशीर्वाद निरंतर देती रहे।
मैडम ये बताइए, प्रत्याशी बदल गया है अमेठी का, प्रत्याशी बदलने का
भाई साहब चलते जाइए। धन्यवाद।
मैडम कुछ बोलेंगे?
चलिए भाई।
So not saying much beyond just that I have cast my ballot and I request everyone else to also cast their vote. 2014 to 2019 to 2024, there's been a transition in her commitment to the people of Amethi. Will that translate? She has herself alleged that Priyanka Vadra is the one fighting this election from the shadows. And why from the shadows? She lost by 1 lakh votes and she says that it was Mulayam Singh Yadav, the late Mulayam Singh Yadav, who openly said 1 lakh of the Sapa votes were transferred, and she lost by a margin of 1,07,000 votes in 2014. She won by 50,000 votes in 2019. What will be the difference this time around? Or will there be the fight from the shadows or the mandate for the Gandhis? The voters of Amethi have to decide. We've just got news coming in from Bengal. We'll quickly go across to that and then we'll come back to Uttar Pradesh. Arjun Singh is claiming that voters are being intimidated. He's on the spot. This is Barakpur. Arjun Singh is claiming that voters are being actually beaten up. Go back slogans have been raised against Arjun Singh some time ago. So there is tension in Barakpur. So this is again one of the seats that will be keenly contested. We'll try and also listen into what's been said on ground and then go across to Kamalika.
Here we have come in a place in Kashrapara where one side you can see Arjun Singh and the other side there are some people who are asking Arjun Singh who are confronting Arjun Singh. We'll try to ask him, Arjun, what happened?
अरे बार-बार बोल रहे हैं बोलने के लिए
आपको बोलने दीजिए अरे आप क्यों आ रहे हैं
क्या करें हमारा पूरा झमेला हो रहा है क्या हुआ सर मेरे महिला को मार के एकदम हॉस्पिटल भेज दिया
क्या
एक जन महिला के मेरे माथा फाटी है हॉस्पिटल ही नहीं देते हैं कौन ही बोले एक नंबर
कौन क्या सर कौन क्या क्या नाम है
One woman has been injured. That's what his claim is. On the other side, we can see that there are some people who are asking Arjun Singh to go back. So right now there is a tense situation. की होइछे दीदी की होइछे There are some people from this area who are trying to say Arjun go back.
Kamalika now joins us. So Barakpur, important somewhere, sometimes here, sometimes there. Once again back into the mix with the BJP. Arjun Singh, how critical is it, this fight, and what is his claim? What's happening on ground, Kamalika?
See, this is an area called Kashrapara. Right now the police has gone, the CAPF has gone. The situation right now is okay as what it was couple of 15 minutes back. There was some complaints which came to Arjun Singh that his voters were intimidated and they were not allowed to cast their vote, and somebody was hurt badly. So he went there, and the moment he went there, we were also there. We saw that there was some protest from the people, one section of people to whom Arjun was saying that they were all TMC people and they were the people who were intimidating. Arjun Singh had a heated discussion with them, and then the police and CAPF reached there, and now the things are okay. To your question that how important Barakpur is very important. Last time the margin of Arjun Singh was near about 14,000. This time it is a Mahabharat here in Anand, because Arjun versus Partho Bhomik. So Arjun is a person who was in TMC, then in BJP, then in TMC and again in BJP. And Partho Bhomik is a very close lieutenant of Abhishek Banerjee, a minister heavyweight here who is contesting Arjun Singh. Arjun Singh has grown up in this region. There is a non-Bengali population. He has his own pool, but Trinamool has kept no stone unturned here to get back the seat, and that's why Barakpur is also known as violent. Still now, these complaints are coming, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed, no bombing and all till now. Because, you know, Bengal, these are certain things. As you can understand, I'm in the car, I'm following Arjun Singh, because there can be any incident any time. So that is one factor which is always there in Bengal, and Bengal elections are different. So I'll keep my fingers crossed so that less violence takes place. Because last time, let me tell you, Anand, I broke my finger here in Barakpur in 2019.
2019, yes, I remember that incident there when you got injured, Kamalika. But comparatively, this time around, and it's ironical we say this about Bengal, far less violent, less bombing. How poll violence is normalized as far as Bengal is concerned always remains an irony. But Zaka, these 7 seats are critical because the Trinamool is playing defense in majority of them.
Yeah, they're defending 4 and the BJP 3. Again, very little in terms of vote share, about 2-2.5% between the BJP and the TMC. Barrackpur is an interesting one. I think last time it was Dinesh Trivedi versus Arjun Singh, and Arjun Singh defeated him. Then he shifted back to the TMC, now back with the BJP. He's like the strong man there. He's the Bahubali of Barrackpur. Again, a prestige battle. Like I said in the earlier hour, many of the candidates that the TMC has put up this time around are Abhishek Banerjee's candidates. So he is on test as much in this election. And really, it's about whether his candidates win. And if his candidates win, then what happens to the leadership transition in the TMC. What we're also seeing is, as we now come to the final 3 phases in Bengal, you're seeing more and more TMC seats. You're coming into, the Greater Calcutta seats. You have the Howrah and the Hooghly seats that are polling today. Of course, you're also going to see North and South 24 Pargana seats that will be going into polls in the next few phases. So you are essentially coming into territory which the TMC has to defend. Last time they had 22, I think, 22 or 24. Much of those seats are in South Bengal. So as we are now coming to the fag end, the slog overs of this election in Bengal, and remember, Bengal has been voting in every single phase, all 7 phases. Some of the other constituency in Bengal has been polling. In these slog overs, it's the TMC that has much more to defend. Quickly run you through some of the other seats that are polling today. Shantanu Thakur from Bongaon, again, very, very big seat. This is also a seat where the Matua factor will be at play, the CAA, whether it actually has any resonance on the ground. That is something, again, it'll be in test in Bongaon. And then, of course, we talked about the neighboring seat of Barrackpur. But then there is also the Hooghly seat. Again, prestige battle. Locket Chatterjee won this seat last time around. This time, Rachna Banerjee, who I think used to be an actress, she has been fielded by the TMC. You also have some of the outer Calcutta seats that are polling today as well. You have Uluberia and then Srirampur, where again it's a tough fight between Kabir Sonkar Bose of the BJP and Kalyan Banerjee, of course, has been a long time TMC lieutenant. So this is now in the Greater Calcutta region that we're talking about. The hardcore city seats have not gone to polls yet. They will be polling in the next 2 phases. But this is going to be very, very critical. Like I said, you're coming from North and Central Bengal now into the southern districts, which is the stronghold of the TMC. And this is where the TMC is playing more defense than the BJP.
Now, in terms of the INDI alliance, Javed Ansari, do you believe this is going to be the true test? Because the left is far more active in this election compared to the last one. And there is no vote transfer happening from each other. The Congress is also fighting its fight and not there in the picture at all. But the left versus Trinamool scenario on ground has also been there, more than the Trinamool versus BJP in many of the seats. Earlier this morning also we had reports of the left office being ransacked and left and Trinamool Congress supporters fighting against each other. Do you believe that could be an erosion?
That could be an erosion, but erosion into whose votes?
Yes.
If the TMC is to be believed, and if the India Alliance is to believe, they believe that the left, there's some signs, the left is showing a greater fight this time than in the previous elections. And the TMC would have us believe that the more seriousness with which the TMC, with the left fights, it means that all the anti-Mamata votes are not going into the BJP's kitty. Even the left is taking some of them. So the TMC is not losing too much of sleep over the left part. The left showing some gumption, making more of a battle of it than they did the last time around. Whether this is all theory or it's really making an impact on the ground, we don't know. But it does stand to reason that and one of the reasons why the TMC didn't lose too much of sleep of not having an alliance with the Congress was also this, that they don't want the entire anti-BJP vote or anti-TMC vote to just go into one camp. In that case, the beneficiary would have been the BJP.
No, I think I agree with Javed Ansari. Of course, again, adding this caveat that some people are saying that left is showing some signs of revival in Bengal. If that is the case, having said that, with a big asterisk. It will actually benefit the TMC, because I remember a couple of polling phases ago, Rahul had shown this map. Literally, red became saffron between 2014 and 19. How the left vote almost entirely moved to the BJP between 14 and 19. So a lot of the left voters had moved to the BJP in 2019. Whether some of those folks are coming back to the left, I don't know. Like I said, I've not traveled to Bengal. But,
interestingly, the story is that on ground, the fight is between the left cadre and the Trinamool cadre. It's not the left cadre fighting the BJP cadre. That's why Rajagopalan sir, you raised your hand a bit. Quick word, we're going to take a break. Yes.
The Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary factor, and this morning I heard from Calcutta that Mallikarjun Kharge posters have been torn out. Therefore, Congress is also getting divided and they are not in tune with Mamata Banerjee. Second, CAA. Madam Mamata Banerjee also supported if you don't bring NRC. So therefore, Mamata Banerjee is also having double standard. She is worried about Matua community. At the same time, she does not want BJP to gain more seats. But Mr. Amit Shah says, we will touch upon 30 seats. So what is the confidence Mr. Amit Shah drawing? From which sources? We have to understand that. That is anti-left votes are coming to BJP. That is my surmise, Anand.
So anti-left votes or anti-Mamata votes are coming to the BJP. That's one question. The Trinamool believes they will touch 30 this time and the BJP will suffer. So there are claims both ways. But what we are seeing on ground is the left cadre clashing with Trinamool cadre. Left cadre not clashing with the BJP cadre. So that's where the aspect is who's going to hurt whom on ground. But yes, it is politically charged. Is it less violent than last time around? Somewhere one gets the impression, at least till the fifth phase, it is. We're going to take a short break. We continue the conversation when we come back. Stay with us.
Seats would have seen polling, and there'll still only be 3 states left. After today, 23 states are done with. Delhi is left, Bengal is left, Uttar Pradesh is left, and I think Bihar might be left.
Bihar might be left. Yeah, Bihar is left because Maharashtra has 5 phases. With today, it's over.
Exactly. So look, these are the 4 states. Now, this is where the BJP has done pretty well in the past. Bengal is really where they need to grow. Odisha is another place where they will need to really put that little bit of energy.
Now these are the phases which are the retention phases for the NDA and mostly the BJP rather than the accumulation phases or the adding on phases, aggregation phases for the BJP. Those are already over, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2 and 3 were the ones where the BJP stood to gain the maximum. They were defending in lesser place than where they could be aggressive. Most importantly towards the south, because that was phase 1.
Well, phase 4, last time Telangana
phase 4 also
was very important.
Phase 4 was also important because again that was a place, that was a state where the BJP was deficient, was coming from behind as a challenger. But now going forward, 5, 6, 7, they are going to have to retain more than gain more. Let's move to Bengal quickly. News just coming through. Allegation coming from Howrah. CPM that last night their party local outfit has been ransacked by the Trinamool. Are you doing the ungli when it comes to voting about it and doing casting and doing your fundamental, not just exercising your fundamental right, but also doing what is supposed to be a duty of every citizen of this country, that is go out and vote. The numbers have been picking up after the phase, but will phase 5 set a new record? These 49 seats are critical, ladies and gentlemen, and in pockets where historically voter turnout has not been very, very high. Let's try and understand what are the X factors when it comes to Mumbai, the 7 seats of Mumbai and also Maharashtra. Factionalism, the split in the Shiv Sena and the NCP could cause confusion. Will the voter be true to cadre loyalty, local leader and ideology? Or will there be this family bloodline loyalty conversation which will be an impact? First test for Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde after switching loyalty. Can they be leaders? Will they be able to exercise the authority they always felt they had? Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar could capitalize on the emotional aspect, sentiment. Dhoka diya mujhe is what both of them are going and saying on ground. My own betrayed me. That's what the betrayal aspect. And the Maratha sentiment, if it swings and believes that someone has been betrayed, so no matter how wrong they are, will they go and vote for them, or will they say, you are the one who betrayed the original ideologies, you are the one who betrayed the voter, you are the one who betrayed my mandate? Will they remember that? That's the big question. And these are aspects which will come into play. Also, BJP believes sympathy for them over the MVA alliance. So that's the original betrayal that's being claimed, ladies and gentlemen. But is that in the distant past? Is the latest betrayal what's going to stay? This is betrayal versus betrayal story which is being talked about on ground. And of course, infrastructure. Big boost from big ticket projects which will come to the fore. They have shown the Vikas story there. Although the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena will in Mumbai claim that most of these projects have been initiated by them, completed by them. But Devendra Fadnavis said it was actioned and put into play with me. And we would have only continued it had you not given me dhoka. So this is the conversation which is happening on ground. The story of taking Maharashtra to making it a 1 trillion economy, the first state in Bharat to become a 1 trillion economy. So who is taking it towards a Bimaru state and who is taking it towards 1 trillion economy? Who is bringing investments and who is pushing away investments? These are all questions. 50% cap, a hurdle for reservation for Marathas. This Maratha reservation aspect, everybody has voiced it, but then they blame the courts for halting it or stopping it. Now, will this come into play on ground? We'll have to wait and watch. BJP on the back foot, as many groups are also feeling let down with respect to the Maratha quota. Now, how much of this will come into play is the big question, Rahul Shivshankar, the Maratha quota aspect, because Devendra Fadnavis has backed it, but it was the courts that shot it down. Now, this game of trying to play one versus other, and Shiv Sena and Sharad Pawar has always played this 3M combination.
Well,
historically.
Sorry to be a bit of a party pooper here, Anand, but I think this is really a clash of personalities.
Having the lowest voter turnout, so what is your appeal, particularly because
Mumbai will have a record turnout this time. The enthusiasm amongst the people is great, and wherever I've gone, people are super excited to decide the fate of the country. They want to be a part of the future. They want to play an important role in ensuring that India once again becomes a superpower.
हमारे साथ में राजकुमार, आप तो नेशनल आइकॉन है, इलेक्शन कमीशन ने से भी आपने प्रमोट किया था, आपने वोट किया है, और आपने पार्टी देख कर वोट करते कि कैंडिडेट देख कर?
पार्टी दोनों चीज़ें हैं. ऑफ कोर्स आपको रिसर्च करनी चाहिए कि आपके एरिया से जो खड़े हैं उनके बारे जितने भी लोग खड़े हैं, तो आपको उनके बारे में थोड़ा रिसर्च करना ज़रूरी है. और बहुत सारे ECI ने बहुत ईजी बना दिया है नो योर कैंडिडेट करके, जो हमारा ऐप है, जो हमारी वेबसाइट है, उस पर आप जाके पता कर सकते हैं. तो ऑफकोर्स मैं पार्टी भी देखता हूँ और मैं कैंडिडेट भी देखता हूँ.
और आप वोट करने के लिए अपनी शूटिंग जो है वो बीच में रखकर आप बनारस से खास तौर पे आ जाए और आप वापस जा रहे हैं शूटिंग के लिए? जी
मैं लेट नाइट पहुंचा हूँ और सुबह सुबह मैंने आके वोट किया है, जो कि हम सब की जिम्मेदारी है अपने देश के प्रति, अपने डेमोक्रेसी के प्रति. तो मैं इसी के लिए आया था क्योंकि मुझे पता है ये बहुत बड़ी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, बहुत बड़ी ड्यूटी है हमारी टुवर्ड्स अ नेशन. लेकिन अभी मुझे वापस भागना है, मेरी फ्लाइट है, क्योंकि वापस जाकर शूट रेज्यूम करना है, मिस्टर मिसेस भाई का प्रमोशन करना है, बहुत कुछ है.
और आप लोगों से कैसे अपील करेंगे, क्योंकि आमतौर पे मुंबई में लोग जो है घर से बाहर वोट करने निकलते नहीं है? नहीं,
मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि इस साल जरूर निकलेंगे, इस बार जरूर आएंगे वोट करने, क्योंकि हम सब लोग बहुत ही जिम्मेदार हैं, हम सब लोग बहुत समझदार हैं. हमें समझ आता है हमारी जिम्मेदारी जो है हमारे देश के प्रति बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हम सब आएँ, वोट करें, इसको हॉलीडे जैसे ट्रीट ना करें. पहले वोट करें, उसके बाद जाकर ऑफ कोर्स ट्रीट इट लाइक ए हॉलीडे, बट दिस मीन्स अ लॉट टू ऑल ऑफ अस.
अगले 5 साल में भारत को कहाँ देखना चाहते हैं आप?
सबसे ऊपर. आई थिंक ऑलरेडी बहुत तरक्की हो रही है और मैं चाहता हूँ कि और तरक्की हो. हमारा देश जो है बहुत जल्दी एक सुप्रीम नेशन बने.
Big day today, so first election. As somebody who is appealing to the people in the court of people, what do you say?
Indeed, it's my second inning of life, but our constitution has given a valuable right to every citizen to contest the election and accordingly now I'm going to the temple of Lord Siddhivinayak just to pay the tribute and taking the blessings of the Lord Siddhivinayak. And I'm sure that every citizen will cast their vote because our constitution has given this right to every citizen.
What is your appeal to people of Mumbai? Because people of Mumbai have always been apathetic towards voting.
No, I am aware that this time the citizens of Mumbai will specifically cast their vote because they know their right.
आपने महसूस किया ही होगा कि देश में इलेक्शन चल रहे हैं। आज भी अलग अलग इलाकों में मतदान है। वीकेंड लंबा भी था, सैटरडे संडे मंडे को छुट्टी। तो आप में से बहुत सारे लोगों ने सोचा होगा कि आज लंबे वीकेंड पे कहीं चले जाते हैं, खासकर मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज़ में। मगर मत देना और वोटिंग करना आपका फ़र्ज़ ही नहीं बल्कि अधिकार भी है। वोट जरूर डालें, आज बहुत ज़रूरी है। एक दिन, 5 साल में एक दिन आता है, उस एक दिन का फ़ायदा उठाइए। अपने इम्पोर्टेंट होने का एहसास अपने आप को दिलाइए। आप बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट हैं, आप इस देश के नागरिक हैं, आपको संविधान से अधिकार मिला है।
Mumbai is the place which is known for its apathy for voting. Today is the first time that Mumbai will see unusual voting and polling combinations. How will this election go? Do you think Mumbaikars will come out and vote?
Yeah, sure, because Mumbaikars are very aware of their voting rights and they believe in democracy. And they will come out and express their views. Whatever has happened in Maharashtra for last 5 years, people will express their opinion.
But you know, this is also, as I said, the first time that unusual political combinations will be put to test. MNS is supporting Narendra Modi, the Mahayuti dispensation. How do you think this whole combination will work out?
Yeah, it will work out nicely, and while doing the campaign, we had a good response from people. And I would like to tell you one thing, that we did not crack in a deal in the close behind the doors. Whatever we felt, we said it very openly on the forum of Shivaji Park Sabha and in front of Prime Minister. There was no deal behind the doors.
What is your appeal to the people?
My appeal to all Mumbaikar, Thanekar and everyone is they should come out. Whatever their opinion is, they should express through voting.
Large number of people have come to cast their vote in Baramulla Lok Sabha seat as well. You can see large queues at this polling station near Patan in Baramulla, where number of voters, you will notice here, have come out from young to old to exercise their franchise. The two main contests is seen between them, but there is Fayyaz Mir of the PDP who has been in Rajya Sabha earlier. He's also contesting on PDP ticket, while you also have a dark horse like Engineer Rashid, who has been in jail in a terror funding case since last 5 years. His sons have been campaigning for him and is gathering massive crowd. Whether or not that massive crowd translates into vote on the ground, one has to wait and see. Srinagar has set a record of the highest voter turnout last time. Will it be Baramulla also will break their record that they had set last time? One has to wait and see. But yes, the lines and queues are large. Security arrangements have been made. But yes, that fear which you would notice prior to this particular voting is not visible there. Women also, in large participation of women being seen in this vote reporting stations.
India's number one...
Modi, this is a vote for Modi and his guarantees. Can Modi inspire Maharashtra to turn up and vote for the BJP, for the NDA again? And let me just very quickly tell you that in Maharashtra, the combined new NDA, so to speak, has 11 out of 13 seats. Lot to defend here. The BJP itself is very strongly placed in Maharashtra.
I'm interrupting you right now because you go talk to the pictures a bit, Rahul. You talked about PM Modi's personality and he is at Puri Jagannath.
There you go. So the Prime Minister is a great past master at choreography. So here he is again. Now this is very important. This religiosity is going to play out in Uttar Pradesh fantastically right now on the ground. This is the reason. Why? Because it is that entire area around Ayodhya, Lucknow, all those seats that are going to polls, and Hindutva, the Ram card is on test tonight. Though, of course, Jagannath Puri has a significance of its own. Odisha also has elections going on there. So, look, competitive religiosity, there is no better at the Prime Minister than executing it. But coming back to Maharashtra, which is really where the election is right now.
Puri Jagannath will also have an impact in Mumbai. Because who's carrying forth the Hindutva flag? The religiosity aspect will also come into play here.
Absolutely. It's all very well choreographed. You know, you can take the strand and fit it anywhere today. But let me just tell you, Anand, you were spot on when you said that, look, at the end of the day, it's going to be about a test of loyalties. Who is going to stand with whom? Who do they think was the greater betrayer to the mandate? That is what really this is about. And many people are already saying that the bellwether state this time is Maharashtra. I'm not so sure statistically if you can extrapolate and say that Maharashtra has been an all-time bellwether state, but certainly this election, Maharashtra holds the key to the BJP's fortunes. Its dominance there to the NDA's fortune. Its dominance there was for all to see. It had, out of those 48 seats, the second largest bloc that goes to the Lok Sabha, friends, 39 of those seats were with the NDA last time. It's a huge chunk. It's a huge chunk from one state. I mean, you can pretty much settle this election between Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. If you have those two working for you, you have a little bit of the Hindi heartland, you're almost the halfway point.
See, in the sense, despite the NDA splitting, the BJP held a certain number of seats. If the BJP holds its seats, and there are some gains out of the 15 that had there, and plus 3, 18 that have been given to their allies within the NDA, Shiv Sena Shinde, and of course Ajit Pawar's NCP, plus some of the others. I'm just saying, is it a greater test for Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray?
That's what I've been saying from day one.
If they are not able to make a dent,
this is a make or break election for Uddhav Thackeray. It is a make and break election for the Sharad Pawar faction. Look, Ajit Pawar has many races left. He is at the end of the day the organizational man at the Baramati level. Let's not forget that. The organization spins and revolves around him. But let me just give you an idea of how critical this phase really is. Look at Maharashtra, 11 out of 13 for the NDA. Uttar Pradesh, 13 out of 14. There are no room really to make gains, okay? Let's assume that Rae Bareli continues to vote for the Congress. So that 13 out of 14, they'll have to hang on to 13 out of 14. Bihar, 5 out of 5. JDU, in fact, had 1 seat here. The LKSP had 1. Now, that past 1 seat is also very important because many people are saying this time in Bihar, BJP is carrying forward, but the allies may get chewed up by the RJD. We don't know. The jury's out on that one. Jharkhand, 3 out of 3. You can't grow possibly in Jharkhand. Odisha, 3 out of 5. Can you make it 5 out of 5? There's room for growth there, statistically. West Bengal, 3 out of 7. 3 out of 4. 3-4 it was. The TMC at 4. It's a very interesting election for the TMC this time. Because if it has to prove that it can still carry the Hindu vote, this is the phase where it has...
नीचे हो आपके बैंक अकाउंट में 8,500 रुपया महीने का खटाखट 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 आता रहेगा।
महलों में पैदा होने वाले कहते हैं देश का विकास अपने आप होगा और कहते क्या है विकास कैसे होगा? बोले खटाखट खटाखट।